I'm becoming more and more convinced that TikTok is actually a weapon used to weed out stupid people. Because this story is not the first of its kind. This is not an isolated incident where a TikTok trend or challenge leads to a lot of fatalities. It's honestly getting to the point where these headlines feel like they're AI generated. Like the one we're talking about today feels like a fake story put into Grand Theft Auto as a joke. Just something they slid in there as something silly. But it's apparently legitimate. There's a TikTok trend called the boat jumping challenge, which is responsible for at least 4 people's deaths recently. And the challenge, as the name would imply, is jumping off of a boat going extremely fast. You don't need a master's degree in physics to figure out why this is dangerous, but just in case, I'll lay down the brass tacks. So I'm gonna sit you down in the classroom here for the lecture, so spit out your gum. Since the boat is moving so fast, when you jump off of it, you hit the water hard as shit. You generate a lot of force behind that impact. It's a goddamn wallop. So, what's happening is, when people are jumping off of the boats, they're hitting the water and then snapping their necks and drowning. It's an easily preventable and probably the most embarrassing death imaginable because you killed yourself for a goofy-ass TikTok challenge. And I also hate that everything in the world is called a challenge these days. That word has lost all meaning. There's nothing challenging about this. Jumping off a boat doesn't have any level of difficulty or skill to it. The only challenge, I guess, is surviving it. Like avoiding being banished to the fucking Shadow Realm for it. But I'm so fucking tired of everything getting called a challenge, you know? Here's the poop without wiping challenge. You take a shit and you don't use any toilet paper or a bidet to clean your anus. Expert difficulty, ultra nightmare mode, impossible challenge. You won't last 5 seconds. It's so dumb. I'm so tired of everything getting labeled a challenge. But anyway, this trend of boat jumping is responsible for at least 4 deaths. And like I mentioned, that is just the saddest way of going out. Not only is it like an agonizingly slow, painful death, but that is just, you're probably getting made fun of in the afterlife for that. Dying for a stupid TikTok trend, you know the angels are shooting spitballs at you. Like that is, like it's just a shameful way of exiting this corporeal realm and shedding the mortal coil. That is so fucking sad. Like, I feel horrible that, people have, perished from it. But I honestly am stunned by just how quickly the human brain is devolving. This is like human instincts 101 shit. Like, this is common sense. This is an instinct you're born with. Not to, like, jump off of something going fast because it'll create bad ouchie boo-boo moment. Fucking cavemen probably would know not to jump off of, like, a speeding vehicle like this. I just don't understand how anyone would see this challenge and think that it was somehow safe or wasn't dangerous. Like, you'd have to know. You would have to know. And another thing is, it's so traumatizing, like, dying this way, not only because it was extremely avoidable, but because it's most likely done in front of your family and friends. Like, if you're on a boat, you're probably not on a boat with strangers. That's not exactly like you can call up an Uber to do this with. You can't just call up, like, a boat service, right, to pick you up and do this TikTok trend. So you had friends and family around you filming you, and then you did the TikTok suicide challenge right in front of them, and they watched you die and fucking filmed it. That is scarring. That is incomprehensibly nightmarish. So, like, this whole thing is, it's shocking that anyone would actually even do this. Like, 4 deaths from it is surprisingly low, actually. I imagine that's only the reported ones so far, assuming this is a popular trend. And I decided to look it up myself on TikTok to see how big the trend was. And it seems like it was pretty big, and there are still quite a few surviving videos of people doing the challenge, but all of them seem to at least had the foresight to recognize that, pushing that bitch wide open on the boat going like 60 would have been a complete disaster and led to a Mortal Kombat fatality. So the ones that are on there right now are slow boats. They're going slow, so that way they don't hurt themselves doing it or, like, get seriously injured from it. Whereas most people, I guess, didn't recognize that and amplified the danger, fucking Evel Knievel, and actually just warp-drived their boat and jumped off, which led to these 4 deaths in Alabama. This whole situation proves to me, with my fucking tinfoil hat conspiracy theory, that there has to be some kind of shadow organization, the puppet masters pulling the strings of TikTok, that are in this think tank coming up with the most dangerous trends and challenges, knowing that stupid people will die doing it as a way of like population control or something. Like, not only is TikTok legitimately rotting the brains of so many people, but they're not satisfied with that. They're gluttonous for more punishment of the human species. So they're coming up with challenges like this knowing that people will die doing it. Because like I said, this is far from the only one. There's also, of course, like the blackout challenge, which was literally suffocating yourself. And some people died doing that, which obviously, but that was the whole fucking challenge basically. You just strangle yourself until you're about to pass out, and some people died from it. But point is, there's so many of these challenges now. This is just the most recent one. And what's even crazier is I think back to the Tide Pod challenge, how everyone all at once recognized the stupidity and the danger of it, and yet that didn't have nearly as many deaths or injuries as any TikTok trend that comes out. Like, every big TikTok trend has like at least a handful of deaths associated with it at this point. And even extending further beyond Tide Pod challenge, many people forget this one, but it's one I look back on with a big fucking smile on my face that someone even tried it. There was something called the Hot Coil Challenge, which was only ever done by one person. It was a dude who just turned his fucking stovetop on and then put his bare forearm on it and let it incinerate his flesh. So he just slams his arm onto the stovetop and lets that motherfucker simmer. He is in there just letting it cook. So he holds it there for a little bit, obviously just melting the flesh off, fucking cremating his forearm, and called it the Hot Coil Challenge. And that would have been less detrimental to human health than fucking TikTok trends like the boat jumping challenge. There would have been less deaths in the Hot Coil Challenge than there are in things like the boat jumping challenge and blackout challenge and all of that. That's so crazy. Now, this isn't exactly related to the boat jumping challenge, but I want to illustrate just how dangerous water speed is. There is a record for the fastest water speed ever achieved, and it was set back in the 70s. And you'd think upon hearing that, like, oh, we've advanced well beyond that with technology. How have we not been able to beat a record from the 70s when it comes to water speed? And that's because it's considered the most hazardous thing to ever engage in. It's the most dangerous record to ever try and break. There's a whole Wikipedia page dedicated to it. Of the last 13 attempts to break the water speed world record, there have been 7 deaths. And the 2 most recent attempts both ended in catastrophe and death. It is a record that most people don't really want to challenge because it is so fucking dangerous. I feel like a lot of people just don't recognize how dangerous water can be, which is a silly thing to say, because I feel like most people should be able to, but we're living in clown times right now where people are just, they're not thinking anymore. They see internet engagement and all rational thought goes right out the window. So it's fucking dangerous. Obviously, this boat jumping challenge was going to lead to serious injury and death. And yet, people were blinded in the pursuit of clout. A story as old as time now. Well, not really. A story as old as 3 or 4 years now, with how desperate people are for clout, that they are actually killing themselves for it. So yeah, just kind of wanted to talk about this a little bit. That's about it. See ya. A clout-obsessed goofball on TikTok just ate parasites for views. He turned his stomach into Coachella for tapeworms when he knowingly ate tapeworms out of a fish that he was filleting, which to the surprise of no one apparently gave him a very serious parasitic infection here. Who could have seen that coming? He was eating tapeworms out of the fish like it was popcorn. I'm exaggerating a little bit. He did try to cook it to make it a little safer, but then I'll get into it a bit deeper in a moment. I'm getting into spoilers here for the anime arc. But anyway, his name is Nick, and his insatiable appetite for great high-quality fish was eclipsed by his gluttony for TikTok attention. I learned about this from a YouTuber named Atozi, so I appreciate him shedding light on this story because I wouldn't have seen it otherwise. So let's just get into it. Actually, pump the brakes real quick, hold your horses. Sorry for the blue balls. In Atozi's video, he censors the part that shows the tapeworms because there's a lot of blood there, because obviously he's filleting a fish, so there's going to be blood. I don't know if you have to do that on YouTube, but I'm not going to for this. I feel if I don't show the tapeworms, then there's always going to be that question in the back of people's mind on, is it fake? Because most things on the internet are fake these days, but this one, I don't think is. It would be very impressive props here to have a fish with tapeworms that look like this.
Let's go fishing in the hurricane. I'm gonna be using a whopper flopper, which is a topwater lure. This guy's coming in at 13 inches and a quarter. He has some nice fillets on him. There's pulling all over the place. Realizing that he has tapeworms, so it's gonna be pretty tough to eat. I looked it up, and apparently if you cook the fish thoroughly, the tapeworms shouldn't affect you, but I can't say that I'm not experiencing problems after I ate it.
So everything was business as usual here. Nick is a big TikTok creator. He has over 6 million followers, and it was just a normal filleting of a fish until he saw the tapeworms, and then, oh boy howdy, he got some dollar signs in his eyes, and he started to recognize that that is the gold right there. He just got the jackpot, because now he had something that he could do that's a little different that would generate some views for him. Eat the tapeworms. Because for some reason, everyone's like so poisoned with content brain that even something that is detrimental to your health, like eating a tapeworm, is something that people think is a good idea because it'll get extra views with people pointing and laughing at you or calling you an idiot, and that's all that matters is if you're getting extra attention. So he does it.
This is the fillet I got. I seasoned it, threw it in the pan, and then presented it right next to the tapeworms, which was a mistake. Yo, low-key, like, the tapeworms add some flavor. They're pretty good. This might be TMI. It's been 2 days and I've not stopped going to the bathroom. I'm kind of afraid that I literally have tapeworms in my stomach. I've never gone to the bathroom this much in my life. I'm mildly concerned. If you know anything about this in the comments, please let me know because I'm kind of afraid that I have a parasite.
Hey Nick, I'm not a medical professional, but you ate tapeworms, so I'm going to say with a high level of confidence, you probably contracted a parasite. But, you know, I'm not highly educated when it comes to parasites. I'm just doing the old eyeball test here. Now, you can shit all over Nick like he's a public toilet seat. You can make fun of him for a lot of different things here for all the fuck-ups with eating the tapeworms, but one thing you can't hold against him, one thing you can't say he did wrong, was his presentation. He has a talent for plating. I tell ya, that technique was flawless. The way he presented the fillet and the tapeworms was exquisite. That's something Gordon Ramsay would give his stamp of approval to. That was S-tier plating right there. It's just a shame that he was plating a tapeworm buffet.
Update on the tapeworms that I ate the other day. I went to the doctor and he said it is more than likely that I have tapeworm or some kind of parasite inside me. I'm going to the bathroom nonstop. My stomach is killing me. He prescribed me 3 different medications that are anti-parasitic. We've all seen that video of the bear that has like a 50-foot tapeworm coming out of his butt, and that literally could have been me if I didn't get to the doctor in time.
I've never seen that video, Nick. I don't even know why you'd assume that I'd see that video. I'm not looking up bear ass, and certainly not infected bear ass. But now that I've seen the clip, what a wacky one, huh? Jesus Christ. That tapeworm leaking out of its anus, that looks like it's just landed after skydiving. Like, it looks like the parachute strings when you're, like, walking away with your parachute bag and all that hanging out. That is a crazy tapeworm. Is that some kind of world record, or is that kind of normal? I don't really look into, you know, parasites all that often, shockingly.
The doctor didn't know what kind of worm it was, so he just like gave me all the different anti-parasitic things. Some of the worms cause seizure, muscle damage, and like you can lose your eyesight because the worms get in there. If there is any lesson you learned from this, it would be do not eat worms inside of a bath.
A lesson I didn't think anyone ever needed to be taught. I feel like that's just basic, common human knowledge that everyone would intrinsically be born with. The only reason you ate them is because your mind is so warped and rotted from all of this desire for more and more TikTok attention that for some reason you were able to justify putting your health at risk here. Now, interestingly, it only gets worse from here. So he went to the doctor, apparently got, you know, some medication to help combat the mystery worm inside of him, even though I don't think it's much of a mystery. If I was playing a game of Guess Who, I think I'd get this one on my first guess. I think the culprit is a tapeworm. I'll take the mask off of the villain here like it's Scooby-Doo. I think it's a tapeworm that you've contracted. Yeah, just a hunch. But anyway, he gets the medication. He's now got a plan of attack here to get himself feeling better. And then something very, very interesting happens. This video gets posted.
Update on the tapeworm situation with Nick. 7:30 this morning, Nick passed away at the Kaiser Hospital. I was with him over the last 24 hours and he wanted me to inform you guys on the situation. Nick was on antiparasitic medication and unfortunately it was not working. The worm spread to his eyes and brain. By the time we made it to the hospital, it was clear that Nick was not going to be able to make it.
That's when the really dramatic organ music comes in. Doom! So he didn't survive apparently. So this is a friend of his, I guess, announcing that he passed away from the tapeworms that he contracted from eating the fish. Much to the chagrin of his audience, who was very upset, saying things like, you know, fly high, Nick, you know, rest in peace, this and that. It's just a real sad situation to see someone go down this way.
Tomorrow Eternal Funeral Services is where we're going to be hosting something for Nick at 10:30 a.m. on Saturday. It is going to be an open casket. He wanted you to know. Hopefully you guys could all remember him fondly, and I'll be seeing you guys all at the service.
I apologize for the trauma I just gave you guys. I assure you I'm happy, I'm here, and I'm going to be making content for a very long time.
Oh my god, it's a miracle! He's not dead! Oh, we've been fooled! He played us like a fiddle. Wow! You know, just like Dino Spumoni, he faked his own death here with the ultimate goof. So, this is the cringiest shit ever. What's even wilder is the day before, or I don't know if it was exactly the day before, but the video before this, he actually had posted something about losing his brother, talking about the death of his brother here. And I think that one's being truthful. I don't think that one's also some kind of sick fucking twisted joke. So that's some psychopath shit to go from talking about the death of your brother into misleading your audience of children into thinking that you're dead. Now, no one watches the full video for things. Not on YouTube, not on TikTok. People don't even read past the headline on an article on Twitter before, you know, clicking off and already making up their mind about it. So not many people watch the whole video for when Nick came out of nowhere with a patriotic, heroic return. So most people just assume that the guy talking in the beginning here was being honest. You know, like they just took him at his word because they don't know any better. They're young kids on TikTok. It was also super weird that they just dropped a funeral service homepage and told people that there was a celebration of life, a funeral taking place there for Nick. And like I said, a lot of people didn't watch the whole video, so I'm curious if anyone actually showed up to that place expecting a service.
Don't cancel me, Nick made me do it.
The antiparasitic medication did work, guys. I am feeling a lot better. I am editing this video right now, and it is definitely the wildest publicity stunt I've ever done. I have officially faked my own death.
I made a joke about Dino Spumoni, which is a reference to Hey Arnold. It's a guy who actually did fake his own death. That's not what you did, though. You didn't fake your own death. All you did was just lie. Like for only like 20 seconds, too. You just had your friend come out and say that you were dead. It's not faking your own death. That's just like a really lazy, lame prank. Like, that's like the pranks I would do on April Fool's Day in middle school when I'd tell my friends Dragon Ball Z spoilers that weren't real. Like, it's just dumb. Like, it's not some clever, crafty plot that you've hatched, like some genius plan to fool everybody. I think there's a good chance the tapeworms weren't actually defeated, and his friend is right. The worms spread to his brain. Because you have to have brain worms to have come up with this idea. It's so fucking stupid and weird.
I'm really happy that you guys are holding me accountable for this, because creators lying to their audiences is not cool, especially in the manner that I did. I was under the impression that because I was at the end of the video that it would wind up being taken as a lighthearted joke. I should have definitely seen that that was a super foolish take. It was just dumb.
Yeah, he followed it up with this apology video. His audience said, "Too much cringe, I'm out, lame joke, trash, goodbye." And he's like, "Wait a minute, I'm sorry. This was dumb. I don't know what I was thinking, it was stupid." You know, I can't tell you how effective it was. I'm not overly familiar with Nick outside of the tapeworms saga here. But yeah, I just wanted to cover this story because it's just a perfect example of how delusional people have become, that they will put their health at risk just for the sake of a couple extra views on TikTok, and then follow through with even stupider plans like pretending that you died for like 20 seconds, I guess for the sake of shock views or something. I don't really know, but it's just all very stupid. I want to talk about it. That's about it. So yeah. This is another one of those sad situations where I have to admit Twitch chat was right and I look like a bumbling imbecile now. About a month ago, chat was trying to convince me that there was a viral TikTok challenge that was getting people to steal cars and sometimes crash them for views, and I wrote that off as a bunch of baloney. I said, I doubt that's an actual trend. Probably just one stupid asshole did it, called it a challenge, and no one ever followed. But it turns out I was wrong. Not only is this boogeyman real, but it actually has led to the death of 4 teenagers this week. Somehow, the challenges continue to get more and more brain dead and dangerous. This generation of Tide Pod eating and hurting yourself for views on TikTok is reaching an absolutely absurd level of wildness. So, it's called the Kia Challenge. It's also not really a challenge, it's more of just a ruin your life speedrun tutorial. Basically, the only goal to be completed with the Kia Challenge is to steal a car and post yourself stealing the car on TikTok. It honestly sounds like it's something made by the CIA to catch potential car thieves. You're fucking instructing them to post evidence of their crime online, making it the easiest slam dunk arrest ever. But anyway, the Kia Challenge was videos that were teaching others how to steal Kias and Hyundais specifically because of a massive vulnerability in many models from Kia and Hyundai. For Kia vehicles, many of them built from 2011 to 2021 have this problem, and for Hyundais, those built from 2015 to 2021 also have this problem. I'm not here to teach you how to do it. I'm not your Thieves Guild sensei, but I will tell you, it is shockingly fucking easy. It's mind-blowing how stupid and simple it is. These cars are more insecure than me going through puberty. They basically steal themselves, honestly. It takes seconds, like actual seconds. Not even like mini seconds, like maybe 2 or 3 tops. It's fucking baffling, honestly. So, since this challenge went viral, there's been this massive increase in thefts with Kia and Hyundais, and this week it led to 4 teenagers dying. In a few of the Kia Challenge videos that are still available online, the people in them are driving recklessly, and in a couple of them even crash. However, this one happened to be a fatal single-car accident, killing 4 of the passengers here, and now the driver's facing a felony charge. Pretty sad story all around, and it all stems from a little TikTok trend. Just when you thought we'd seen the dumbest trends from that platform with like devious licks and shit like that, they've gone even harder now. But I think it's very important we discuss what a massive fuck up this is from Kia and Hyundai. How in the world, 2,000 years after the death of Jesus, with all the technology we have now, how can you have this massive vulnerability? It's obviously a massive problem here, so much so that they have now been served a class action lawsuit as of late September, because these vehicles that they manufactured during the time periods I listed don't have immobilizers on them, which as I understand is standard among pretty much all the other automobiles out there. I'm not much of a car guy. I don't know too much about that shit. I know more about the anatomy of a fucking alien than I would a car's engine and what goes into vehicles. But according to the lawsuit, the engine immobilizers are crucial, and they've come at Kia and Hyundai for not having them, stating that they valued profits over safety and security of their customers. And it also outlines just how big of a problem it's become. It is just an absolute epidemic with all of these car thefts with the Kia and Hyundai models here, and it all ties back to the lack of engine immobilizer, as I understand it. And it seems like this was a massive blunder here, because all the extra doubloons they were able to squeeze out of their profit margins is all about to whittle away here and probably end in some net loss with this class action lawsuit. It's a huge deal, obviously. And just a really sad trend all around, since it ended in the death of 4 teenagers who probably wouldn't have stolen this car if they weren't fed the information on how to do it, as well as also fed the idea that by doing it, they'd gain TikTok clout. I believe at the time, and according to this article, the Kia Challenge category on TikTok, like the trend where all of these things lived, had 5.9 billion views across all of the videos there. Now, of course, not all of them were views on videos of people actually stealing the cars. A lot of them were people talking about how dangerous the challenge is. But there was, of course, quite a few videos actually showcasing just the blatant theft of Kias and Hyundais in there, in the Kia Boys area. And just fucking awful stuff. TikTok cracked down on it and banned those accounts and shut all of the Kia Boys, Kia Challenge stuff down, but even still, you can still find quite a few of them. And it clearly does still exist in some capacity because this only happened this week. So it's still a rather popular idea, even if not like a direct trend on TikTok anymore. So just wanted to talk about this a little bit since this was just a situation where I was just absolutely wrong when Twitch chat was bringing me some new information here that I just refused to believe. It was so outlandish I didn't believe it. I didn't think anyone would ever actually start a trend of just crime, and I was proven wrong. And it's very sad. Not sad about me being proven wrong, just the actual subject matter here being sad. That's about it. See ya. I'm a huge fan of internet weirdos that post content online. I get really excited when I find a new entertaining goofball. And over the years, I've kind of made this collection in my little noodle up here, like a little mental museum of my favorite internet oddities. And I'll sometimes just get the urge to see how they're doing. So I'll go to their content, put their sack in my hand, and tell them to cough to give them a checkup, just to see what's going on and have a little laugh. And recently, I was made aware of one of the most bafflingly delusional content creators I've seen in quite some time, which is a TikTok psychic named Ashley. I made a video on her going over her whole situation. I'll break it down just in case you don't know who this is. Ashley is a self-proclaimed clairvoyant psychic who tries to solve real-world mysteries. She uses less reasoning than Scooby-Doo does in the cartoon. Like, she doesn't even bother actually investigating. She just makes up fan fiction that she pulls out of her ass and then tries to portray it as the truth. So she recently made like 100-something TikTok videos accusing a woman named Rebecca Schofield of being the person responsible for the murder of 4 University of Idaho students. This is a complete baseless claim. She used tarot card readings as well as her own patented method of tapping into the universal consciousness, surfing the cosmic vibes of astrology or whatever, and accusing Rebecca Schofield relentlessly of being the murderer. She's now being sued for this because, as it turns out, Rebecca Schofield is completely innocent. It seems Ashley is going to need to spend a little more time mastering the avatar state to get the proper information, because here's the main suspect, Brian Kohberger. Now, even if it somehow turns out by a crazy plot twist it's not Brian, even though there is a ton of fucking evidence behind it being him, it is still 100% not Rebecca Schofield, as Ashley has claimed hundreds of times now. Now, you would assume that a rational person, after being sued for defamation for accusing an innocent woman of being a murderer, and the most likely real murderer being arrested, you'd think that she'd then be like, yep, looks like I was wrong. This is a big boo-boo from me here. Sorry about all that. The natural next step would be apologizing and trying to move on from it, backpedaling like, looks like I made a mistake. The spirit realm was, the Wi-Fi signals were blocking it and I didn't have my shungite around me. But in the case of Ashley, you'd be wrong, because she commits even further to the delusion, and even after the threat of being slapped around legally, she is still maintaining that she's correct and everyone else is wrong. I'd like to show you some of these TikToks, and I already did talk about some of these in the last video I made, but I actually want to bring this out to a bigger topic, and that's people's inability to accept responsibility even when faced with the absolute truth. People are so afraid of being wrong that they will just do the most unrealistic mental gymnastics that you couldn't even write in a fucking cartoon in order to justify how they're still correct and they're not wrong. I've seen this all over Twitter. When someone gets dunked on Twitter, like they get provably dunked on with facts, logic, evidence, they still will discredit it or come up with some reason that evidence, the facts, the proven truth is wrong and they are right. It's this weird defense mechanism that's so infuriating. You see it all the time with flat earthers. How many times have flat earthers proven with their own experiments that the world is round, and yet they still decide to believe that it's flat? It's people still just wanting to feel special. And it doesn't matter what you bring to them, no matter how bulletproof the evidence or the truth is, they'll just decide not to care. They'll just go back to that belief that makes them feel like they're above everyone else and their intelligence is unrivaled. It really grinds my asshole, like chafes the fuck out of it. I went on Ashley's TikTok today because I thought it'd be fun just to have a little giggle. But as I watched her videos, that smile quickly turned to a frown, and I just got so frustrated listening to her try and justify how she's still right.
Also, let's pay attention to the statement the University of Idaho gave regarding the lawsuit that Rebecca Schofield has against me, but also the accusations that I made that she was the one who ordered and who is responsible for the murder of the 4 University of Idaho students. It says, while this lawsuit is a private matter, U of I does not condone spreading false information and find this particular allegation to be one of the worst we have seen.
That sounds reasonable. Straight and to the point. This is false information and some of the worst we've ever seen. Also, the fan fiction she's writing is absolute garbage and fucking trash. She should stop trying to write these erotic novels that she's cooking up here and trying to pass it off as real evidence in a legitimate murder where 4 students lost their lives. She's trying to capitalize off the death of these 4 students for her own clout. So there was a lot more they could have said to really just, drive the nail in, but they made a very generic boilerplate response that still just kind of covers this, the whole situation.
They've made it clear that they do not condone the spreading of false information. That's one. And for this one, they believe that the allegations I've made is the worst they've seen. Let's pay attention to what they didn't say, which is they didn't say that they agree that Rebecca Schofield didn't know these students. They didn't say that they agree that she didn't teach these students. And they didn't say that they agree that she didn't advise or mentor any of these students. This statement is carefully written, just in case she's guilty.
Getting your arm caught in an escalator and having it crushed to fucking pieces in front of you would be less painful and less traumatizing than listening to her speak about this situation. I don't even know where to begin. Let's start with the obvious. What the fuck are you even trying to say? Here's their statement. But here's what's suspiciously absent from their statement. This is some stupid shit a 4-year-old would cook up in their head. You can actually make this argument for every statement ever. For example, with your own TikToks, you have not once said that you aren't the murderer. Should I start suspecting you as a culprit in this case, as one of the chief suspects? You've made hundreds of TikToks, and I don't think you've mentioned being innocent here. Where were you on the night of the murders, Ashley? It's very odd that you've chosen not to proclaim your innocence or mention where you were on the night of the murders. Now I'm starting to, furrow my brow a bit here and wonder, what's going on behind the scenes, Ashley? Why hasn't that been part of any of your statements? Peculiar, isn't it? They didn't address any of the brain-dead shit that you said in this TikTok in their statement because they didn't fucking need to. It's already been proven by law enforcement that you're just wrong on every single goddamn claim.
It's a lot of people on YouTube, on the news and articles, the comments, TikTok videos, whatever. When the truth comes out and you see that I'm right, I just want you guys to leave that stuff up and stand on what you said. Don't delete it and try to bandwagon. Stand on it.
Your arrogance makes me want to cry. Ashley, if anything comes out that's even remotely adjacent to you making a claim that's almost grounded in reality, I will actually shit my fucking pants. Of course I will keep it all up. For those that don't know, a bulk of her claims were about Rebecca Schofield and her internalized lesbianism, where she was an advisor or a mentor to one of the students and she fell in love with her, but this conflicted with her traditional values, and then the student, she was kind of old, and then, but what about Rebecca's husband? And she just made like a 50 Shades of Grey novel around real murders and blaming a real innocent lady for all of it. And not only her, she also throws another real person under the bus as a potential murderer here, talking about how they, fucking formed this kind of villain alliance here and hired assassins to take out the students. It's an unreal amount of garbage, and it actually does make me upset that she truly believes it so firmly.
I took a nap. I tried to quit, but I can't quit. And I don't even want to cry on you, but when I went to sleep, I had a dream. And in the dream, it was Kaylee's mom and Kaylee's dad. And I was by Kaylee's mom, and we were just crying. And that is so hurtful. But anyway, I'm not going to quit. I've mistakenly let them lead me into masculine energy, which is protective energy. Because of the lawsuits and all the negativity and in the media and the comments and things of that sort, I've let them force me into masculinity, protective energy. But I should have continued to focus on what I know, which is feminine, intuitive, receptive energy.
Absolutely disgusting. She's now talking about how one of the victim's parents came to her in a dream and they were crying together over all of this. And then, all of the negativities forcing her into masculine energy. Whatever the fuck that means. I did, however, get a laugh out of this whole, masculine versus feminine energy thing, as if it's just something that can wash over you because some people left mean comments or called you out on your bullshit. Damn, goodness gracious, I looked at a piece of wood today and the masculine energy nearly made me pass out. Or hey, Charlie, we're going to a bar tonight, are you in? Nah, sorry, I can't, bro. I ate a Pop-Tart earlier today and I got hit with some childish energy, so now I'm no longer old enough to drink. But you guys have fun tonight. Just such a fucking stupid, silly thing.
Long story short, I'm not posting no more free information regarding this case online anymore. You got people on here asking me information and using my information, then turn around and saying I'm crazy or leading protests against me and allowing me to be badgered.
Even when she does decide to shut the fuck up, which I imagine she was advised to do by a lawyer who's instructing her to stop, hit the brakes as hard as possible, and stop posting this shit, she still tries to spin it as a victory for her, and we're all the bad guys for calling her out on how deplorable the whole thing is. So yeah, I just wanted to go over this because I am so tired of people just refusing to accept reality. There's nothing wrong with being wrong. Changing your beliefs is a natural thing. It's healthy. You should change your beliefs. You shouldn't have the same beliefs right now as you did 10 fucking years ago. You should be evolving as you're getting new information, you're learning new things. Your beliefs should also be evolving as well. There is no reason to stick to something that is provably wrong and false. It just makes no goddamn sense, and it made me upset today, damn it, and I needed to rant. That's about it. So yeah. The desperation for online attention on TikTok is a poison more potent than cyanide, but it doesn't kill you instantly. It's a long, drawn-out, painful, and embarrassing death. And today I want to talk about someone who's got a very severe terminal case of toxic clout goblin. It's a TikTok psychic named Ashley. You might have even heard of her by now because she's made a name for herself in the national headlines. She is a self-proclaimed TikTok clairvoyant who uses her psychic abilities to solve murders. And she recently took on the case of the University of Idaho killer who killed 4 students. The real killer was arrested, however, before Bryan Kohberger, the actual killer being accused here, the main suspect, was taken into custody, Ashley made a long series of videos accusing someone else named Rebecca Schofield of being the killer. It was based on nothing other than tarot card readings and Ashley's own gift of tapping into the universal consciousness. A YouTuber named Detozy recently made a great video covering some of her unhinged videos, but there are so many more. She basically just made a fan fiction about this completely innocent lady named Rebecca and framed her as the killer, and even convinced some brain-rotted individuals on TikTok that she was correct and Rebecca was the real killer. And even though Bryan Kohberger's been taken in with a ton of evidence against him, she is doubling down saying that they got it wrong and that she was right, and that it's the authorities' incompetence that's letting Rebecca get away with it. It's disgusting, really. It's straight up just fucking deplorable. And now Ashley, the psychic superstar, is being sued by Rebecca for all this shit. And rightfully so. She completely deserves to get slapped around in court for this kind of garbage. And I just wanted to go over some of this with you because I truly was blown away by what I was hearing from her. It's a really interesting look into just pure delusion. Ashley really thinks she's like Mob from Mob Psycho, like some kind of crazy, powerful, psychic, hero. But in reality, she's just dangerously dumb. And then accusing innocent people of horrible crimes.
TikTok psychic.
I'm sure he'll set the stage, but just in case anyone doesn't know, TikTok investigator made a claim that they found the University of Idaho murderer responsible for the death of those 4 students, and they said it was their professor. And when, asked about evidence, and the evidence they presented was tarot card readings, I believe. So you know, not the most bulletproof of investigations out there. But yeah, who's to go against tarot cards, right? You'd be a fool to bet against the tarot cards. But you know how that story played out? The actual killer was caught, thanks in part to a Reddit post that they made. And now I believe this lady is getting sued.
TikToker by the name of Ashley, she started creating some pretty unhinged TikToks claiming that she knew who was behind all of this. And this is with zero proof, just visions. So disclaimer here.
Hey, and look how far Raven got with those visions. I wouldn't be shitting on that so heavily if I were you. You never know what she might envision next.
Before I begin this Who is Rebecca Schofield series and her motives for the University of Idaho students, let's just dispel the rumors. No, I do not know Rebecca Schofield. I'm not connected to her in any kind of way. I'm not emotionally tied to her or any of the victims. I'm not connected to anyone. I have no reason to lie on her. No,
But then, you know what? Who am I to chime in so early? She's still going over the process. I'm sorry for the interruption.
I did not just see her picture and name on the University of Idaho history page and then automatically feel it was her. This is not a feeling. This is knowledge. I have no feeling.
Knowledge from where?
I did a reading
when
I saw Rebecca Schofield on the history department's page on Rebecca Schofield and her connection.
Pardon me, detective. Wasn't one of the first things you said, I didn't just see her on this university page and start accusing her. And then immediately your process is, so I saw her on the university page and I decided to do a reading. Well then, this is quite watertight knowledge we're gathering here. Please continue to cook, I'm sorry.
Rebecca Schofield and Kaylee connected because she needed an advisor. She was about to graduate.
How does she know this?
She wanted advice on personal growth.
It's called fan fiction. Get with the
Also,
times.
She needed resolution for anything or anyone that was getting in the way of her ability to graduate about her sexuality. During this time
What? What is that?
Rebecca Schofield.
Oh my god, this is so much longer than I expected. I thought she just did like a single tarot card reading. It's like, look at this. She pulled the murderer card. So that's how I know she's guilty. She's just going through an entirely made up story of fucking nothing.
Schofield is in a dreamlike state. She's opened up that passion that she had suppressed for women that was now placed on Kaylee.
What?
She's explaining it like it's some random fanfic. There's fanfics written about me that are like have similar
about her desire for her, but also her desire for women and how she suppressed those desires because of tradition and societal viewpoints.
She wanted so badly to write the next 50 Shades of Grey, but wasn't able to actually find success on any of those erotic adult fan fiction sites. So instead she went to TikTok to try and do it, but she's using an actual case of murder. And then accusing a real person of being the murderer.
She said that she was so introspective that she lost her connection to her husband and that she needed to focus on her finding her truth and her.
Speaking of truth, I want to see a little bit more about the lawsuit first. This is far more wild than I expected. I thought for sure this was just going to be a quick cut and dry, hey, tip Fedora. I pulled out my tarot card readings today, and look who turned out to be a murderer. This lady. Case closed. Thank you for attending my TED Talk. But man, she went with like fucking 15-minute audio book of like a girl-on-girl sexual erotica. What was her name? Warlock Holmes. That's pretty good. I like that. Oh, here it is. Professor sues TikToker who accused her in University of Idaho murders. It's a defamation lawsuit. Here, let me just pull it up. I don't know why I'm just going to read it to you like it's story time. Has she not said anything like public? Hold on, let me go to her TikTok. Is she doubling down? How old is this? This is 6 days ago. She's in here. She's still going. Rebecca Schofield, not the murderer, by the way. Just a completely random person she did a tarot card reading on. Rebecca Schofield's alibi, part 2. Murder of 4 University of Idaho students. This would still be after they caught the real murderer. And she's still going.
It seems to be an impossible
Because it is. You did a tarot card reading. It is an impossible task. This is after they caught the murderer, though.
Regretting. It was fresh, you know, and I laughed at it. Didn't take it too seriously. But they keep saying the same thing because they lack creativity. They lack spirit. So they don't have the creative mind to say something different.
You accused an innocent elderly woman of being a murderer. What do you mean creativity and having fun with actual dead college kids and trying to pin it all on just some lady? Oh my god, what the fuck? The lack of remorse. The lack of shame.
So I'll wait till I post just to say the same thing over and over. It's demonic, and it should be embarrassing. That's why a lot of them have fake pages. They're embarrassed to do it on their own page.
I will give her something. The lack of shame is refreshing. She's putting her whole face in here, saying it with her whole chest, being blatantly wrong. I appreciate that. That is nice to see. At this point, it's obvious. Rebecca Schofield silenced Kaylee through her ex. She wanted to silence me, so she contacted my ex. She needs like a legitimate psychiatric evaluation. This is like dangerously stupid. Holy shit, this is actually nuts. I thought for sure she'd be like, oh, it looks like I may have been wrong. The tarot cards were off. Like, try and save some face. But she's just doubling down on it.
Wants to be with Kaylee. She had a deep desire for her. It feels like love. Infatuation.
I understand why this Rebecca Schofield person is suing her, because this is just insane.
We're satisfied physically.
No, like actually true. I totally get it.
Imagine you're a professor.
To make sure he had plenty of resources so that he can accurately put the energy in to manifest his dreams and his best life. She said his dreams are worthy of living. He said that he wasn't too old to learn, and that his
this is like a
talents
plot
have
to
yet
an
be
anime.
discovered. She didn't ask.
And then he learned to do the Kamehameha wave. And then he trained on King Kai's planet.
I haven't been sued, so that's why some demand letters you take serious.
Man, it's looking a lot like
did
Christmas
do
over
something
there.
wrong. But the ones that
The
are used
lawsuits
as a
are coming.
scare tactic,
Yeah, that video aged very poorly.
I think that's how y'all want me to feel about a measly ass $75,000 lawsuit that I'm gonna win.
That's such a good filter. I thought it was real at first. That filter gets me every time. I love that fucking filter. Though, I mean, $75,000 lawsuit's not great. Like you don't have to pretend. I know that hurts. That hurts anyone. That's a lot of fucking money. I don't know why we're like posturing here. That shit hurts.
Oh my god. Of discovering things about her, because now everything I find out about her crime she committed of ordering of the 4 University of Idaho students, I have to save it.
You don't have to save it. There's no point in saving it. Just say whatever you have now, because it's gonna come out in court anyway. So, oh my goodness.
I really
don't
hope
think
this
she
is a
has
public
anything,
trial.
because you're really
Holy
sitting
shit,
on
I
so
need
much
to see
information from what, a tarot card reading? Oh my god.
Like, I have physical evidence against Rebecca Schofield that validates everything that I've said about her, but I can't speak on it now because
I would love to see the physical evidence she has to confirm that Rebecca Schofield was trying to get into a romantic relationship with Kaylee and that Rebecca Schofield was struggling with her own internalized lesbianism and all of that wild shit. And then talking about like how she had plans to leave her husband in order to spend the rest of her life with Kaylee and then having to hire an assassin to take her out. I would love to see the physical evidence she had for those claims. Oh, true, the tarot cards. That doesn't lie. That's a good point. I didn't even think about the tarot cards. That is going to be a crucial piece of evidence. She has an alt account, Ashley is God in the flesh, and she posts there frequently, updated 3 hours ago and said the investigators are wrong and she did the right thing using her gift for right reasons. Oh, yeah, good, there's still more. Ashley is God in the flesh, huh? That's like a major sin, by the way. She seems to be very religious. To claim that you are God is like a major no-no. It's like she never even read the Bible or knows anything about it for some reason. God fucking smited an entire town for making that golden statue of whatever it was.
then they took the bait with Brian Kohlberger. Brian Kohlberger he didn't make the smartest decision, regarding the murders, but he didn't commit the murders. So the people that they should have been arresting is Rebecca Schofield and Jack DeCour. So stop blaming me for other people's ignorance, incompetence, or negligence. Y'all.
That's amazing. Holy Lord. What in the world? What a load of horseradish. This is fascinating. I also want to keep up with some of the commenters. They know what's up. That's why they issued the gag orders. Not to mention Brian is 100% sure to be exonerated. I want to keep up with every commenter as well and see what happens when it turns out Brian is most likely the murderer. I hope, Rebecca, if you're watching, I hope you will make the trial with Ashley live streamed. That would be one of the most entertaining fucking things, because I know Ashley's going to represent herself. Absolutely. She's going to bring the tarot cards. She's going to bring some incense. Maybe a Ouija board. 100%. She's going to be like, watch this. I'm going to prove that it's Rebecca. I'm going to communicate with the dead students on my Ouija board. I have no doubt she would. Oh! Oh my god. Maybe Ashley does have spiritual powers. Holy Lord. Oh! I'm under a psychic attack. One of my little Warframe figurines fell over. Okay, never mind. Ashley's powerful. I take it back. Holy shit. She's got gifts no mortal was meant to wield. How are you jump scared easily? I'm not at all. I didn't expect an entire fucking Warframe figurine to fall over. What the fuck do you mean? That's like the exact opposite of being jump scared easily. It was a loud noise. Could you not hear it on stream? She's got this shungite now. Oh no. Her staff of shungite. She has a whole blog on her website of her solving the case. No way. So she calls herself clairvoyant, saying she's blessed with the ability to access and interpret information from the universal consciousness. Huh. I use my ability to help solve mysteries and see beyond the surface of people, places, and things. Oh, you're right. Yeah, here's an entire blog. Solving the mystery of the murder of the 4 University of Idaho students. She's been tracking this whole thing. This is just horrible. Because it's real people that she's accusing of being the murderers. Fear of the unknown is probably the most popular fear on the planet. I feel like most people are afraid of things they don't fully understand. And that's what I'm here to talk about today. And I'm sure a lot of you have already seen this, but I am fascinated and disturbed by a very popular branch of TikTok live streaming content that's blowing up right now. I'm like a dog when you get a vacuum cleaner out. I cower in fear because I really don't understand it. Now, TikTok live streams already have a reputation for being horrible. It's just an absolute wasteland. It's full of trash, more so than a landfill. I don't think there's ever even accidentally been a good TikTok live stream, except for the time a ton of people were illegally rebroadcasting the Super Bowl on there. Just going onto that platform to watch live streams is like going to an active war zone to tiptoe around landmines, but in this case, there's no safe spot to tiptoe. You always hit a landmine of fucking cringe.
Gang, gang. Gang, gang. Ooh. Ice cream so good. Yeah, strong woman. Balloon. Yeah, strong woman.
This is what we're here to talk about. This is some kind of NPC live streaming trend where TikTok creators go live and then just act like NPCs here. Someone really summed it up best by saying that this feels like someone canceling combos in a fighting game. She just keeps randomly emoting like if you're spamming taunts in Chivalry 2 or in like Super Smash Bros. Melee. Show me your moves. Oh, you show me your moves. Show me your moves. I don't know how long she streams for, but it's gotta be fucking exhausting. It is non-stop jingling keys with no breaks. Because she's smart. She knows that on TikTok, kids leave if there's even a split second of dead air. Silence is the #1 enemy on TikTok. Silence is the devil. It's like the opposite of a quiet place where you have to be quiet to keep monsters away. This is the loud fucking doofusville platform where you have to be making as much noise as possible and stimulation out the wazoo, or else people immediately turn it off. Which is why most popular videos have like 5 different tiny videos inside of them, like cutting soap in half with a knife, or the loud sounds of 5 trash cans being slammed together like cymbals while Temple Run's playing on the bottom right and GTA 5's on the top left. And she's come up with a more effective money-making strategy than free armor trimming in RuneScape. She is constantly acting out tips. So, people tip her, and she acts out the associated emoji with it, which incentivizes more people to keep tipping, which keeps supplying the stream with the NPC content.
Yes, 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 yes. Yes, strong woman. Yes, strong woman. Slay, huh? Oh, take your gaps. I love you. Slay, huh? Gang, gang. Gang, gang. Gang, gang. Yes, strong woman. Ugh. Fire. Butterfly. Beautiful. Okay. Fire. Gang, gang. Gang, gang. Oh, where's my feet? Ooh. Gang, gang. Gang, gang. Yes, popcorn. Gang, gang. Gang, gang. Fire. Gang, gang, pop, amazing. Ooh.
For those that don't know how it works, on TikTok, they're so quirky and raw XD random that instead of just donating to a creator on live, you tip them with like emojis. So you give them like some roses or a dragon or a galaxy or a lemon or some shit like that. And then the creator can take this random assortment of Microsoft clip art and then turn it into money. So that's what's happening here. She's getting these tips, and then she's just doing a short little performance with the tips as like an NPC. And on TikTok, it seems like people are constantly tipping. It seems like one of people's favorite pastimes on TikTok lives is giving away all of the money they have to their name. Like, these kids are like 12 years old and just give their whole allowance to TikTok creators in order for an actual split second of acknowledgement. So here, she doesn't actually like acknowledge the donators. She just acknowledges the dumbbell, for example, and she'll do like a little performance when you tip a dumbbell. I don't know how much money that is, fucking 5 glue bucks or something. I have no idea what the conversion rate in money to emote is on TikTok. But that's the whole strategy, and it's very effective. She's not the only one doing it, but she is the most popular right now. And she is engaging in a bit of whimsical silliness by having a hair iron out and popping individual popcorn kernels with it. So that's just another like piece of the puzzle here for keeping people hooked on it, because it's so weird and wacky that it makes it mysterious and mystical. Like, oh my god, she's cooking popcorn with a hair iron, kernel by kernel, slowly? Why, I never. I gotta message my friends to turn off the Finger Family videos. We gotta get in here quickly. They gotta see this. She's cooking popcorn with a hair iron. There's nothing like it. You don't want to miss it. So it works out really well because it's a combination, a perfect storm, a geostorm for everything that works on TikTok. Perpetual stimulation while, being able to constantly spam the emotes and talking so there's never any silence, while also having that like XD random with the popcorn and hair iron, which is something that does very well on TikTok. So she's fucking crushing it. Now there's a lot of copycats doing it. So the big trend is a ton of TikTok creators like her doing this exact same performance, and they all do well, but she's by far the biggest. So they like move around, like they have idle animations. It's like you're on the Choose Your Fighter screen in Mortal Kombat, but for them, the only fatality they have is fucking cringe.
Yes, you got me feeling like a cowgirl. Let me ready it, huh? Gang, gang. Gang, gang. Gang, gang. Ice cream so good. Gang, gang. Gang, gang. Yes, yes, yes. Gang, gang. Gang, gang. Ice cream so good. Oh, take it, I am. You got me feeling like a queen, huh? Slay, huh? Slay, huh? Gang, gang. Gang, gang. Ice cream so good. Balloon. Gang, gang. Gang, gang. Gang, gang. Oh, what is that? Gang, gang. Balloon. Gang, gang. Gang, gang. Ice cream so good.
If this isn't evidence of people's brains devolving thanks to TikTok, I don't know what is. This is the purest example of what's happening with your brain on TikTok, where now all you need is just noise. and you're entertained. Again, it's the same performance every time. She has a set list of how she responds to the emotes, and she doesn't deviate from it, and she very rarely breaks character. She only broke character one time over the last, 4 days I've seen this, and it was brief, very brief, actually just 5 seconds, and then right back into it. There's no interaction. There's nothing beyond just seeing the same emotes over and over again. It's like if you watched a 10-hour compilation of the same 5 Fortnite emotes repeated forever. And you keep tuning in every day and you're giving money to it in order to keep fueling the perpetual motion machine. Very smart on her end, but man, I don't get how she is averaging 40,000 viewers all watching this same performance every fucking day. It's mind-blowing to me. It's baffling. Nothing but respect to the creators capitalizing off of this here, but nothing but shame for seeing the state that entertainment for young people is in. I was just talking about Skibbity Toilet yesterday, actually applauding it by saying, finally, a piece of content I think is pretty solid in a sea of dog shit content for kids. There was finally something like a bright light at the end of the tunnel with Skibbity Toilet, finally something that looked like maybe good content still exists for kids. And then immediately I started jumping into this rabbit hole with the NPC live streams, and I'm right back to where I started, where I feel like every single kid is doomed to failure for the rest of their life thanks to their brain being rotted by TikTok. But anyway, just wanted to talk about this a little bit because I found it pretty interesting and obviously kind of goofy. So that's about it. So yeah. I'm sure most of you have heard of the carnivore diet by now. It's not exactly so much a diet anymore as it is just a full-blown personality that people adopt, a full lifestyle now where their whole identity is, I only eat meat. And oftentimes it consists of consuming a lot of raw meat. And I've always just been fascinated by this raw meat eating community because I just don't get how they're not plagued by trichinosis and infested with countless tapeworms, like an absolute nightclub of tapeworms in their gut. Because for me, if I eat a potato chip that's one day past the sell-by date, I get sick. I get an irpy stomach. But meanwhile, they're out there consuming fermented meat that they leave out in the sun until it becomes what they call high meat, which is literally just fucking rotted poison meat. And they'll just eat that and they're totally fine somehow. It blows my mind. But anyway, I'm getting carried away. The reason I'm talking about carnivores today is because there's one that's blowing up on TikTok right now because they've made a spectacle out of their meat eating. And make no mistake, this guy eats more meat than an Aiden Ross fan. He's posted hundreds of TikToks now doing these goofy meat eating stunts. And I call them stunts, but it's not like he's doing a backflip while eating a beef liver or something like that. The stunts he does is I'll cook a steak in a sink and then I'll eat it and shit like that. And I'm sure you've seen a lot of the content because it's been getting big on Twitter as well. I had to cut out the music, but it's him making this steak in a sink and then eating a stick of butter with it. It's revolting. I couldn't imagine a worse meal or an easier way of contracting some kind of foodborne illness. But this is the content. He is legitimately consuming that. He's not spitting it out. He seems to be enjoying it as if this is an average meal for him that makes his tummy smile. It is mind-blowing. And don't you worry, of course this guy is going to be a member of the Clean Plate Club. He gets every morsel of food in there. I do want to point out that it's extremely possible and even highly likely that he didn't actually eat the steak that was being cooked by the hot water in the sink. We don't see him grab that steak and put it on the plate. He could have swapped that out for a normally cooked steak, but I mean, he still ate a full fucking stick of butter in that case, which is just a gross idea in and of itself. And I wanted to talk about it because not only is it just wild and wacky, but I'm also pretty sure the guy behind the account is very self-aware with what he's doing and he's just made it his gimmick. But what's crazy is he's so committed to the bit in the character that he actually does eat raw testicles. He eats full sticks of butter. He actually consumes it. But I'm almost confident, 100% confident, that he knows it's a joke and he's playing a character. I've never seen someone do so much method acting in my life, if that is truly the case, if I'm correct about that. He has made his carnivore diet more of a freak show thing. So he's making testicle butter pops where he takes a raw testicle, puts a stick of butter in it and bites it, for example.
Guys, if you have never had a testicle butter dog, you need to try this. Raw testicle with a little sliver of butter on the inside. There is seriously nothing better. This is going to give you all the signaling molecules to get you bucked up in the healthy fats, support your brain and your hormones. This is my favorite snack.
I'd also like to point out here that it's extremely possible he spit that out right after the TikTok finished. He just projectile vomited it out. We don't actually see him swallow it. I really do think, based on the way he talks and some of the things he says in the videos, that this whole thing is supposed to be a comedy persona that he's adopted and fucking giving his all to, out there at 110%. I'd like to give you an example on what I think is like the most obvious case of him kidding around with this whole thing, but it's very weird even still. Even if I'm right, it's still weird regardless. But this is a video he made where it's like some kind of bull penis snack.
Silly rabbit, Pizzles are for kids. Today we're making my favorite breakfast cereal, Pizzle-O's. This will have the kids begging for it. By now you guys know I'm a huge fan of bull pizzle recipes, so all you're going to do, you guys know this by now, you're going to put your penis in a pot of boiling water. And it's going to take a while, so be patient. That's what it's going to look like when it's done. And before I do anything, I always rub my pee-pee with butter. And then you're going to cut it up nice and fine. Again, nobody wants to choke on the pizzle, so make sure they are nice and small. And this one still had a little junk in the tubes, but that's totally fine. It just adds to the flavor, and it just tastes so good, in my opinion. And once you're done, you're just going to add it to your bowl, and you can add a little bit of milk, but I like it straight. Let me know how you like this recipe.
I think it's super creepy that he keeps mentioning kids when talking about the penis snack, saying that the kids will be begging for it. I think that's super creepy regardless of the intention of the videos. But I do think this one is a clear demonstration that this is all supposed to be a bit because it's so over the top. Also, I think it's very important to notice that he made a cut. So he did have bull penis. He had that whole fucking bull wiener, and he did cut it up, put it in a bowl. But when he was digging around with the spoon, there was a cut right before he had the spoon in his mouth. So I think there's a very real case that he didn't actually eat any of it. So I do think there is a case to be made that quite a few of these videos he's made are fake and meant to troll. Like, maybe even taking the piss out of raw meat eating to a certain degree. There are some that he doesn't fake, though, which is why it's so odd, because there are some where he does eat tons and tons of meat, and he does, like, every time I've seen, finish a fucking stick of butter to himself, but maybe that's his superpower. He's like a fucking X-Men whose only mutation was the ability to polish off entire sticks of butter solo by itself. So, I mean, maybe he was just blessed with that ability, but regardless, some of them I am just going to call out. They're not real. We don't actually see him swallow a lot of the raw meat stuff, especially the raw testicle stuff. One of them is just deceptive where we don't actually see him eat the Pizzle-O's or any of that. So some of them are fake, but not all of them.
How many licks does it take to get to the center of a testicle? Well, that's what we're going to find out today because we're making Testy Pops. These are testicle lollipops. All you need is a raw testicle. Cut it up into 3 little bits. It's pretty simple, and this is very, very tasty. I personally love these. Lay them out on your parchment paper, and you're going to need some toothpicks and a little gloop of honey on each one. The kids are going to love these. Once you put enough honey on it, throw them in the freezer, and then you'll have the answer to how many licks does it take to get to the center of a testicle? Well,
yeah, every time he mentions a penis recipe, he mentions kids with it. Every single time, pretty much. It's fucking weird. It's pretty disturbing. Now, in this case with the testicle pops, again, we don't see him swallow it. He does, take a lick of the old testicle pop, but I was expecting an old Tootsie Pop commercial where the kid gives it to an owl. How many licks to get to the center? A 1, a 2, a 3, and then takes a bite of it. But he doesn't do that. He doesn't actually swallow it, eat it, anything like that. He just puts it in his mouth for like a second. So again, I think this is a case of he probably spit it right out instantly afterward.
This is what happens when you eat 4 pounds of ground beef and sticks of butter every single day for months. And no, I'm not exaggerating. This is my carnivore diet dirty bulk. Starting out at 185 back in August, 3% body fat, visible abs. And this is me today at 205 pounds, feeling a little out of shape. But for the past 6 months, we have been way overeating. I'm talking sticks of butter wrapped in prosciutto, tablespoons of maple syrup on everything I eat multiple times a day, beef tongue on white rice, and these are all very nutrient dense foods. I was just overeating them for every single meal for months on end. And keep in mind, I really wasn't doing any weightlifting over this period. I was just doing a lot of rowing. Here's me out at lunch having a stick of butter. I would actually do this.
This is another one that showcases, like, there are times where he legitimately does consume the food that's on his plate. Like, that 3 pounds of beef and a full stick of butter, he does eat all of that. And he doesn't have a beverage. He makes sure to point that out, saying no bev. And he's right. He doesn't have anything to lubricate the gears there. He just straight up eats all of that. And then he does shove a stick of butter right down his gullet in public. The confidence to do something like that is almost admirable. But then there is an example of one where he doesn't swallow. That's the butter wrapped in raw meat or whatever. I already forgot what it was. But like, that's another one where we don't see him like actually eat that or anything. So I don't know. I feel like there are real videos in here, but sprinkled throughout there are the more outrageous ones where he's clearly not actually finishing those. Like, those are all put on for the sake of the quick TikTok, and that's it. Like the Pizzolos, I'm going to harp on quite heavily because there is a cut. We don't actually ever even see him eat a Pizzolo. So he probably faked that entire one right there. So anyway, I just wanted to talk about him a little bit because it's still fascinating. If this is all a character and a gimmick, that I think it is, because a lot of the videos seem a little more blatant than others. There's one where he's talking about like taking Trin and shit that's clearly like very tongue-in-cheek. But there are some where it's like, maybe this guy actually does eat this way. It's just a very interesting situation that I thought was at least worth mentioning. And yeah, that's really about it. So yeah. What'd it do if you get shot? Cry. Scream, pray, all the above.
Detroit.
His advice is going to be some like manly shit, like you get shot in the chest, you reach in with your 2 fingers here and you pull the bullet out, you feel around, oh, it's your sternum that's broken, too bad, get the bullet, pull it out, give it a kiss, flick it at the bad guy.
Share with you today some ideas that can assist you in the event that you get shot. Push the barrel up, back towards the aggressor, and you can actually use his finger to control them if you wanted to.
I just got shot.
Strip the weapon from them. Whatever you do, remember, get the gun, because the only thing worse than getting shot is getting shot again, repeatedly.
What are you talking about? Is this the strongest man of all time? What'd it do if you get shot? Rip the man's head off. No one shoots me except me. He's got a point. I mean, yeah, getting shot twice would suck. But I feel like after you get shot once, your ability to disarm your attacker drops exponentially. Especially if you're getting shot in the fucking chest. Alright, so you get shot in the chest. What, are you gonna cry about it, pussy? No, you take that gun, and then you shoot him with it. 20 times, at least. And no, you don't call 911. You walk yourself to the hospital, because you need to punish yourself for getting shot. You clearly didn't follow my advice. Do you know what to do if someone has a gun to your chest? Yeah, I just learned. You take the bullet and then steal their gun. That's what you just taught me in the other one.
Detroit Urban Survival Training, I'm going to share with you right now something that can save your life we hope you never need. In this case, you can see he's pulling the trigger. It's not firing. But if we backed up, it's firing. If we push it in, it can't fire. Hammer, you would use the slide. So coming in here, he tries to pull the trigger. It disengages because it's into your body. Push the slide to the rear. Turn it out, and now you have the weapon. Backed up.
Do you know what to do if someone has a gun to your chest? Yeah, just run into the gun. That is horrible advice. This again assumes the guy's just standing still. What's gonna happen is you're gonna be like a fucking NPC walking into a wall, and the guy's still just gonna shoot you because he's gonna move with you. Like this is literally to kill someone. This is 4chan advice. I feel like maybe he's just a troll. Maybe, like, there's no way. There's no fucking way. Like, it's actual advice. He's had one video so far with good advice, which was, if you think you're being followed, go to the police. Other than that, it's like, if you're getting choked, try poking him in 16 different pressure points on his body, and then get shot, And then once you're shot, you're at the advantage. So you don't want to get shot twice, right? So then when you get shot the first time, that's when you're going to steal the gun. And then you're going to transmogrify that gun into a bigger gun, a shotgun perhaps, and then blast him.
If someone has a weapon, you want to grab the thumb, the tip of the thumb, and you want to push it to the second digit. If you press this here, it opens the hand biomechanically and gives you the weapon.
How in the fuck am I ever going to do that?
You want to press here. So there's actually nothing
What?
touching the sharp sides of the edges of the blade. Take the pads of your fingers here. You're actually gripping it and pulling down. There's no muscle groups on top of the thumb to stop that action.
Oh my
And
God.
There's actually a gap here. So you're actually not getting cut. Even if you did get cut in the hand, it's okay because it's not a vital area. And you can pull the wrist and press the hand. This opens the hand and gives you the blade. 3 ways to increase your survivability.
How? What in what universe? Someone's coming at me with a knife. Am I going to be able to get in there and, like, do a thumb war with them? Like, I'm going to the most dangerous part of my attacker. Good God. I mean, I guess if they're, like, I don't know, holding it out like it's Fall Guys or something. I don't know. Like, if they're just, like, holding it straight out like this, maybe I can get in there and push on the thumb, perhaps. If they're, like, a child. But if they're a kid, I'll just, like, throw sand in their face and, like, push them over. This one was a pretty wild one. And also trying to grab the blade seems like a recipe for disaster. At that point, you really could just go full anime, slam your hand on the blade so they can no longer use it. So you just fucking blast your hand onto the blade and then grab their wrist that way. I mean, I guess that's about as effective as the things he's preaching. Child abduction prevention. Step 1, don't have a kid. I solved it, and I'm not even a Viper. A threat management Viper. Is she wearing a bulletproof vest?
All right, so the way that worked.
I could tell immediately how that worked.
The child's arm.
And I noticed.
The mother
instantly
pushed here on the thumb, causing the thumb to let go. This would help if someone tries to grab your child against your will. You're able to break the hold so you can get your child free from an aggressor that tries to abduct your child.
I can think of like 10 other ways. Like, let's say this happened, right? Let's say I'm walking with my kid and dude comes up and for some reason grabs my kid's hand and then just sits there and looks me in the eye, right? So he's doing this power move. He's not really abducting my kid. He's just letting me know he could if he wanted to. Instead of breaking his grip, I could also just punch him in the face. Like, he's doing nothing to defend himself. Like, I don't need to, like, go, like, fiddle with his thumbs or whatever. I could just give him one of those. Even, like, a wet willy or something. Like, there's a million other options. Maybe titty twister. Like, I feel like going for his hand right away, you're just giving yourself too many steps. Pistol biomechanics.
This man holds the weapon. He's holding it hard. If I push my finger against this barrel, I can still control that weapon against his will. The weapon comes
Why would
out
I
of the
do
hand.
that? I'm
If
not
I
like
put my hand
Neo
here,
from the
it literally
Matrix.
come out of the hand. That's because the hand is not made to hold anything very well. If I put my hands right here, he can overpower me, and then I can be shot.
Hey, I'm no biomechanical engineer here or whatever, but I think the hands are quite literally designed to hold things. That's why we evolved to have these fucking meaty paws. I don't want to poke holes in the threat management claims here, but that seems a little sketchy.
To give you an example, there's a woman's going to hold the front here.
It's literally the only reason we have thumbs.
Strip it, even though he's strong. And, in fact, she pushes away, and even though he's pushing hard, she can redirect it. That is because it's biomechanics, it's not strength. So what we do is make sure that you have tactical advantages when you have to defend your life if you decide to do so.
Now, I will say, in his defense, this technique is extremely effective if they're missing their thumbs and also maybe like noodle gripping it, like very lightly, like, ooh, I'm kind of afraid of this gun. Like, it might work there. But if someone's like actually just holding it normally, like even if they're like half passed out, I imagine this probably wouldn't work.
Detroit Urban Survival Training, I want to share with you right now why we say the hand is not meant to hold anything very well. This man is much stronger than me, much bigger than me.
Okay, he's saying with confidence, he's probably right.
You're holding your arm, right? Yeah. You're not going to let go. You're going to let go unless he has to, correct?
Correct.
Yeah, we're going to come here, grab our fist, comes right out. The hand is not meant to hold things very well.
Yeah, again, this is one of those situations where, like, let's say my man comes up to me on the street and he's just trying to shake my hand, but he's a little aggressive and I get scared. So we're in this position. Instead of reaching over and grabbing my own fist, I'll just hit him in the nuts. Like, I'm already in a good spot for, like, a little nut tap and be like, hey, let me go. Give him one of these.
You're gonna make 3 consecutive right-hand turns.
When do I start drifting?
Then you're gonna make 3 consecutive left-hand turns.
Then you're gonna want to find a parked tow truck and ramp off the back. Like GTA.
If the car is still behind you, and you look back there, they're still there, you're gonna go to the nearest police station and call 911 on the way.
The first actual good advice. I didn't expect that. I thought he was gonna say if they're still following you, you get out and start blasting. So you like akimbos some Mac 10s. But I mean, that's just like real advice. Like if you're being followed by a sketchy vehicle, yeah, just drive to the police station.
This is how the gun disarm works. Number 1, move what's in front of the barrel always. So if it's more to the front, I move to the rear. Grabbing the barrel, frame, up, back towards the person. If it's this side, I move my head to the front, then you would actually come under, redirecting, now you have the...
I really want to try that. Not against like not against like someone who's really trying to take my car. But I want to give Matt like an unloaded gun, no magazine in, so there's not going to be like one of those stories where YouTuber gets shot doing a prank kind of thing. I just want to see if someone is actually holding a gun, is it fucking possible to take the barrel and redirect it? That strikes me as so unrealistic unless that person is a literal mannequin. Because what's going to happen is they're going to move with the gun, right? Like that's how that works. That's why these things are so worthless. No one's just going to stand there and like fucking flexing as hard as they can so they don't move. Like when you try and bend that barrel up, they're going to be moving too. But I haven't tried it myself. I want to see what happens. Just use a Nerf gun. No. I'm gonna use a real gun. I will go for true authenticity. I'm making sure this is gonna be like the set of Rust with Alec Baldwin, where there's gonna be like real bullets anywhere in the vicinity. It's gonna be you know, the safest area possible. No bullets, no magazine. Do it at like a playground. Well, playground would be the worst place to do it, actually. Like in a safe location.
If your neck is grabbed from the rear, clasp your hands, turn, and the wrists are hyperextended, and there's a lock on the wrist, which causes the pain to cause the man to let your neck go. Very painful.
Well, I can't argue with the science, I guess. How about a rifle disarm? We've seen like 5 pistol disarms. How about a rifle? Being hunted by the... Wow. I guess this is useful if Navy SEALs bust in. Or if you're John Wick.
Don't move.
Do you know what to do if somebody wants to fight? Yeah, I run away and I scream, help. There's a bad man. Help. Help. Please, God, help.
That's all they want to do.
Do you know what to do if you're being choked against the wall? Moan.
But what can work is you take your hand just like this, go right into the eyes, pushing outward. Then you transition out, smashing their skull into the wall or the ground. From here,
He just watches action
stopping their
movies.
knee or striking the throat. Neither of these things will kill them, but it will stop them from continuing to attack you.
These techniques are just developed from an action movie. I mean, I feel like as far as getting choked advice goes, this is about, like, the best you can do. Just like, hey, poke him in the eye. The water boy technique, like, hey, don't choke me. Just give him one of those, and then I guess you can, like, follow through, just, like, keep poking him in the eye. Unless he has a longer reach. Yeah, if he has a longer reach, then you're probably fucked, I guess. I don't know, these techniques are only developed for 6'5" men. Anything other than that, and you might as well just give up.
Pushing the eyes and the face back, gripping downward. This locks the spinal cord, causing the brain to be broken, which takes them down to the ground. Securing the weapon here, increase your survivability.
Imagine you're taking hostages at like your local Burger King and you unfortunately had Dale there that was chowing down on an Impossible Burger. You come up to him only for him to hit you with one of these anime maneuvers. Cops bust in and kill you. What a way to go out. Fucking imagine.
Locks the spinal cord.
Could you use your cell phone as a self-defense tool?
Detroit Urban Survival Training. We're going to share with you right.
Excuse, let me see that one more time at full speed. What did he do? Like blast them with 5G waves? We couldn't catch it on camera, but what he actually did is he turned on Bluetooth, and then he touched it to his wrist, opening up a portal for the 5G to infiltrate his veins.
Go right to the bones of the hand right here. Press in to your hand, and it's extremely painful. If they try to walk close to you, take your phone, press right in the chest plate right here.
Oh God, it's one of these again.
Make them back away from you. Another thing you can use it for, you go right here to the bridge of the nose, and it'll back them up. If they bear hug,
yeah,
take your phone right to the top of the skull, press down, they'll back away from you and let you go. These are some simple ways you can use your cell phone to defend yourself if someone were to grab you.
Why are you so... I'll play ball for a second, but why are you so against just hitting somebody? It's always like, push on it a little bit. Pushing on something is like the least painful version of anything. Like, take, for example, if I was to push my fist into your nose. That's gonna hurt significantly less than if I was to thrust my fist into your nose. If we're gonna play with these ridiculous rules, why not just hit him multiple times with your phone? It would be magnificently more effective, like tremendously more beneficial. Another day, another awful TikTok challenge. The one we're talking about today is devious licks. And I actually think this is worse than the Tide Pod challenge, if you guys remember that, where kids were just eating Tide Pods and killing themselves or burning their stomachs. I actually think devious licks is worse than that, because at least Tide Pods, they're only hurting themselves. Devious licks is just a massive inconvenience to everyone around them. So what is devious licks? It fucking sounds like a Harry Potter book, like Harry Potter and the Devious Licks. It sounds like a Death Grips album title. It's a really stupid name, but basically, it's a TikTok trend where kids in high school were going into their bathrooms and just stealing shit. So stealing soap dispensers, stealing entire sinks, stealing urinals, stealing the actual shitters themselves. There were actual kids just unscrewing the shitter, used poopied, pee-peed in toilet, stealing that and taking it with them to their house. I can only imagine the immeasurable disappointment the parents must feel when they find that hidden treasure their kid brought home, because it's gonna smell like asshole. It's a fucking toilet. So they walk in there and they see that their kid's not only a thief, but the dumbest thief on earth. They stole a useless biological hazard. You can't even sell the toilet. Like, there's nothing you can do with it except just throw it away. Now, Devious Licks wasn't limited to just stealing. No. It was much more elaborate than that, because if you couldn't steal something from your bathroom, you just destroy everything. You go full caveman brain and just break everything and call it a devious lick. So that's basically the trend. And as it continued to grow, it transcended the quarantine zone of the high school bathroom. It went from the bathroom to just the school in general, so they started stealing things like sinks outside of the bathroom. They'd steal lockers. They'd steal cars. It basically was just vandalism at the school property. And this shit's been fucking wild. The only thing I've ever stolen from school is this little bad boy right here. And I had to go out of my way to find him, but I remember stealing this. It's a little snowman Pez dispenser. He's pretty playful, he's pretty cool. Not really a devious lick, but I felt bad about it ever since. I stole that from a teacher's desk, I remember, because I thought it was just kind of cool because there was Pez in it, and it was like, yeah, that's kind of nice. So I took it, and God, the guilt has been overwhelming ever since. I pray to God every night that he forgives me for the sin. Can only imagine what these heathens are going through. But anyway, this has become such a widespread thing that entire towns are going in lockdown at their schools, fucking sounding the emergency sirens like aliens have arrived. It's DEFCON red alert out here. Devious Licks is the boogeyman that's marched into town. So the way some of the schools are dealing with this is absolutely amazing. I read about a couple schools that just outright banned using the bathroom during school hours without an approved time for it. So they had to take a field trip to the bathroom, and if you have to go before that field trip time, you're just going to shit and piss in your britches. Like, those trousers are going to get soiled because they don't want to take the chance, because it got so bad at those schools that they just outright forbid using the bathroom outside of their designated field trip bathroom time. And then the more common one that I'm seeing is you are not allowed to use the bathroom without a school-approved chaperone to be there to make sure that you're not doing anything devious in there. These are high schoolers, mind you, and their brains have been rotted so drastically by TikTok that they're now not allowed to use the bathroom without a fucking bodyguard to monitor them, because they can't be trusted to behave themselves while tinkling. It's crazy. Now, I wanted to show you a few devious licks that I found on TikTok, but I didn't record them in time. TikTok has banned all devious licks and the accounts associated with most of them, so all of those are now just lost to the fucking cyberspace, the cyber shadow realm. So I'm just going to show you a short compilation from Know Your Meme that did like a few of the bigger ones that were viral on TikTok, so that way you can at least get an idea of what these looked like.
Licks refers to a trend where TikTokers steal school equipment and flaunt it like trophies for all of TikTok to see, with everything from soap dispensers to security cameras on the line. The trend began on September 6th when a TikToker posted a video pulling a hand sanitizer dispenser from a backpack alongside the text, "Only a month into school," and got this absolute devious lick, as if celebrating school's return with the steal. The video got high school and college kids around TikTok excited, and within days, users were going viral left and right, showing off their devious licks, aka stolen goods. Some examples include a full microscope, a computer, a functioning paper towel dispenser, and an entire fire alarm ripped right from the wall. Some have taken the trend outside school walls.
As the guy mentioned, it did go beyond schools. Kids started stealing shit from all over the place and just calling it a devious lick, like movie theaters, churches, and things like that. So it wasn't just limited to schools, but that was absolutely the bulk of it. And it's been in the headlines for the last couple of days because it has been a huge deal for a lot of schools. It causes a lot in damage, and it's a massive inconvenience to the entire class because you're missing fucking entire toilets, A, and B, your school now has to have designated pee-pee times. So you better hope that your bathroom schedule lines up with the school's now. So obviously these kids were pretty proud of the things they stole, so they weren't shy of showing their names and faces with a lot of the shit, which has of course led to a lot of kids getting expelled for it. Imagine getting expelled because you were competing in a TikTok challenge to steal your school's paper towels. Like, how pathetic. Now, the thing is, you don't make any money off this, so these kids were doing it just for this idea, this wet dream of clout. On TikTok, these accounts weren't making anything. You have to like sign up for a TikTok partner program, and even then I think it's like $1 per 10 million views, which these were not getting, by the way, except for a couple. So it's not like they were really making money from doing this. They got expelled for nothing and got laughed at online by everyone except the brainwashed douchebags that were cheering them on in the TikTok comments. So that like brief dopamine hit of, oh, look at these 10 likes on TikTok, was probably not worth getting expelled, but maybe I'm wrong. You know, maybe I just haven't felt that true euphoric dopamine from a devious lick. You know, maybe that's what I'm missing. But yeah, a lot of these students have been expelled. They've been identified and publicly shamed in a lot of cases. So yeah, pretty rough, but they did it to themselves. It's a stupid fucking trend. It's really dumb. Somehow the bar keeps getting lower and lower for TikTok. Like, the second you think they hit rock bottom with the worst content ever, they find a way to break through that plateau and find something even more stupid and fucking awful. But yeah, I imagine now that TikTok has banned devious licks, it's going to die right then and there, because obviously they were only doing this for attention online, and since they won't be able to get that fixed, they won't bother. Or maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they were stealing from the bathroom just for the love of the sport. They just fucking loved collecting used urinals, you know? Like, hey, Charlie, don't you ever fucking say that again. I don't care about the TikTok clout. I stole this urinal because I fucking love to drink out of it. It's a great goblet. This is my new chalice. You know, I guess it's possible. I mean, I'm sure there's people out there that love that shit. But yeah, I guess we'll see. Maybe a month from now, every bathroom near a high school will just be completely ransacked and dilapidated, and written in blood on the wall it'll say devious licks. You know, who knows? I imagine it's probably done now that it's banned, but we'll see. That's about it. So yeah, this is a type of video I've never made before. I'm making this purely out of spite. I'm just a vengeful spirit right now. I had to suffer, and I feel it's only fair you suffer too. On Twitter today, a few people tagged me in 2 TikToks that were just so insultingly offensive to my eyes. I was more disturbed than a Christian youth pastor going to see the director's cut of The Human Centipede. It was so yucky that I just feel obligated to inflict this pain upon you, the viewer, and I'd like to talk about them a bit further. It's from a trend on TikTok where weird dudes try and be sexual and do, like, sexual shit, but it's super fucking creepy. Yeah, I mean, you know, who doesn't love a video like this? Just massaging spit into a blanket that you're pretending is a clitoris. Like, who is this for? I can't imagine there's a single sentient human being out there that's, like, excited about this or being turned on like, fuck, I'm wet now. or like being cheered on in the locker room. Yeah, oh baby, yeah, keep fucking rubbing her clit, yeah, look at him go, yes! It's vomit-inducing, especially considering that the majority of the TikTok user base is children. And then he finishes the video by like grabbing and squeezing what he's simulating is supposed to be a vagina. So he's basically just fucking like grabbing on it like he's trying to start a lawnmower. He's like fucking trying to pop a balloon in his hand. Like, it's so disturbing, like the whole thing. And he's not the only one. There was quite a few videos I saw just like this. I don't really get it. Maybe I'm just getting older. But how would any woman see this and be like, damn, I gotta hit this guy up. He look at the way he's massaging his spit into that blanket. That could be my pussy right now. Oh my god. He could be massaging my pisser and it'd feel this amazing like what I'm watching in this TikTok video. This guy's truly an expert. A sexual wizard. A pleasure wizard. From what I can tell, this trend is supposed to prove that you have sex. Like, hey, no, look, I fuck and I'm good at it. And then they have like whatever song's playing here, Arctic Monkeys or whatever is going on. I don't know the song. It just doesn't make any sense. You know, like if I was to participate in this trend, I'd want to go like full-blown Alpha Chad Thundercock status. Like, I not only know how to massage one pussy, but 50. So I'd have like some inspirational music playing, you know, like maybe Scatman or something, and I'm just going all over the place. Fucking southpaw on him, maybe get like the Zoidberg going. Just simulating rubbing over 1,000 clits around me. And then maybe I'd be considered the most sexual man on TikTok. Which when said out loud sounds like a crime, actually. The thing is, this whole trend is so disturbing as a viewer. Like, how is this content that anyone would leave a like on? But what's crazier is I saw so many people trying to duet with this video in particular, so there were so many people moved by it and turned on by it that they wanted to respond to it and like fainting, oh. It's wild. TikTok is truly an absolutely baffling cesspool sometimes. Just why? My fucking day is ruined now. Dude hits a swan dive into a cunnilingus true combo. That's like a Tony Hawk Pro Skater line right there. I mean, good for him. You know, connecting all of those tricks together. And he sticks his tongue out and his tongue is like 20 feet long. Which I think is supposed to be like a turn on for the women that were watching. But I just feel like it'd be more of a detriment than anything. Because if this man goes to eat some vagina, he's also going to be eating butthole by accident. Like, his tongue is going to wrap around her like a G-string. It's going to be like tentacle porn, but with a tongue. So I don't think it's like necessarily the best thing in the world to have a tongue this long. Especially not for him in particular, because when you're going to administer the doctor-recommended dose of vaginal eating, you'll just get a taste of ass too. It's like, oh god, babe, why does your pussy taste like shit? It's like, well, you know why. Your tongue is fucking deep in my colon right now. How do you not realize that? But I don't even understand, like, this doesn't even show that you're good at sex, which I think the whole trend is supposed to. Because who the fuck is like, hey babe, you ready to bang? You ready to make a bedroom ham sandwich? Alright, here I come. And you do like a cannonball onto the bed. And then you just start like... But yeah, I just wanted to show these two videos from the trend here because I had to watch them, so I thought it was only right that you also had to experience this with me. So yeah, that's really about it. So yeah. Yeah, it's only been a couple days since I talked about the NPC TikTok live streaming trend, and it is completely out of control now. It's spreading faster than the bubonic plague, and it's significantly worse for your health. It is tragic that this is the state of entertainment now. I don't blame any of the streamers hopping on this trend because it's an infinite money cheat code right now. This is a non-stop avalanche that's only gathering more and more steam, but instead of it being an avalanche with snow, it's an avalanche with doubloons. This is legitimately free money because people, for some reason, are just throwing all of their allowance, all the schmeckles from their pockets at every single TikTok streamer that's doing this NPC trend. I'm confident all of you have heard and seen this trend by now, but just in case, I'll introduce you to the patient zero that started this NPC streaming outbreak.
Grab, fire, fire, meow, hee-haw, yes, you got me feeling like a cowgirl. Let me write it, huh? Aw, thank you, Fruity, I love you. Balloon. That was good. Coconut. Hee-haw, yes, you got me feeling like a cowgirl. grab.
This is Pinky Doll, and with the rate at which she's growing from this trend, she'll end up being more well-known than the Bible at this point. She has exploded from this. 50,000 viewers during her most recent NPC stream, and apparently, according to reports, eyewitness accounts, she went for 5 hours of doing that nonstop. Can never fault the work ethic there. That is some fucking iron will. That is a certified top 10 anime never give up moment right there. 5 hours of just repeating the same emotes forever. Literally just spamming taunts in a fighting game for 5 hours like this. That's not easy. That's beyond mind-rotting. But that's where the money's at right now. She has blasted a new market wide open here with weirdos that want to watch NPC streams forever. So it's really smart from her to capitalize off this, especially considering I imagine it won't last for too much longer. This is absolutely one of those lightning in a bottle situations. I would be shocked. And I've been wrong before. It's rare, but I have been wrong. Like the time I thought I got bit by a bat watching Jurassic World in theaters, and it turned out I had just fallen asleep and had a nightmare. Point is, I have been wrong, and I don't think I'm wrong here. I believe this trend will probably fizzle out and die like a sad little wet fart within about another week or two. Two at most. I just really don't envision a world where kids will continue to keep coming back to these because it's the same thing every single time. Though, I'm gonna go ahead and argue with myself here. On the flip side of that coin, kids do just endlessly loop Finger Family videos and Elsa making out with Spider-Man shit and you know, Crazy Shark or whatever his name is. Left Shark, I think is what it is. Baby Shark. Christ. Like, they do subject themselves to the exact same things on repeat forever, so maybe this will have legs for quite some time. I'm not really sure, but regardless, it's smart from Pinky Doll to keep striking while the iron is hot, because she is making a fat stack of cash from all of this here. And again, she's not alone. This has become the biggest trend right now. Either people hopping on ironically and then still doing it for like hours and then doing it multiple streams, or just people fully shamelessly copying and doing exactly what she does. If you go on TikTok and just scroll through live streams, pretty much all of them are this. There's been a bunch of videos posted of it, so I'll just show you clips from a couple of them that keep floating around and people that just scroll through TikTok lives, and it's literally every single one of them doing NPC streams.
Guys, thank you all for the likes. I appreciate it. The roses. 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 Roses.
The clip goes on for a lot longer, but I want to quickly interrupt before getting back to it. That roses to roses true combo there was actually fucking wild. That wasn't planned or anything from the person who posted this, I don't think, because they were just scrolling, I believe. So that just happened naturally. Like, that's how formulaic the NPC streams are. They're pretty much the same thing, just repeated forever. And they all generate a lot of attention from the audience, like thousands upon thousands of viewers for pretty much every creator that's hopping on board, as well as a ton of money, because again, the trend is NPCs acting out their emojis that people are donating. So they're getting donated roses, so it's smelling the roses. Roses! 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 Oh, roses! 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 Like, across the board forever. It's always the exact same shit for everyone doing it, and it's highly successful for them. And the audiences, for some reason, find it very entertaining and satisfying, which is concerning. It's the perfect illustration of just how bad for the human attention span TikTok is. Like, this is some fucking embarrassing shit for the future generations here. Because this content, the NPC streams, is basically just resetting the human brain to default factory settings. It's making you devolve to baby brain. Watching this is like watching parents play peekaboo with their baby. Peekaboo? Peekaboo? And then the audience is like, every time. Every single time, even though it doesn't change. It's fucking wild.
Hello, I'm AI.
Rebooting. System rebooting.
Thank you for your...
GG. Thank you for the share.
Live. Queen Slaying. Hi, Zaza.
A couple of those were scrolled to a little too quickly to really recognize that they were NPC streams, but they were. Like, if you slow it down, like one of them that went by really quick, they did have the hair iron out with the kernel in it, popping individual popcorn, just like Pinky Doll does in the NPC streams. Everyone on TikTok is trying to get in on this infinite money glitch. And the content itself is legitimately just perpetual stimulation, jingling keys, making as much noise as possible, as often as possible. And it's working. You can see how effective it is, which is so fucking sad. Again, not for the people doing it here, because it's a free bag, and basically they just have to be the little clown honking their nose in order to make the children laugh by saying the same shit every single time for emojis that come through in the donations. I don't really get it. I'm not a fucking psychologist here, but if I was to spitball a guess, maybe this is like an audience of people that didn't get a lot of attention growing up, like their parents didn't play peekaboo with them, or Here Comes the Airplane with their vegetables, and seeing someone do something similar is kind of filling that missing piece in their soul, and that's why they keep coming back every single NPC stream and watching and donating to all of them. That would be my guess, but again, I can't really sit here and psychoanalyze every single spectator of this new sport and try and understand the inner machinations of their complex noodles out there. It's a little beyond my pay grade. I don't fully understand it, but I respect the people that are on the grind making a ton of money off of a wacky trend like this. I've also heard a lot of other people refer to this as an NPC fetish, which again could be true, maybe, I suppose. That there's maybe some merit to that claim, but I'm also not a fetish scientist, so I'm pretty in the dark on that one too. But regardless, one thing that's inarguable, it's extremely successful, and it's not showing any signs of slowing down. In fact, it's only growing in popularity. But again, I do think that its days are numbered. I don't think it's going to last that much longer, so anyone that's on the NPC trend, you gotta stick this shit out for as long as possible. Fucking grip it as hard as you can in order to just continue to squeeze it for a little extra juice. Also, I mentioned that it's not easy to do this because it's not. Like, it's super simple, but it's not easy. It's many hours of just repeating yourself forever. But what I am surprised I haven't seen more of, and maybe it's just because I don't watch the NPC streams, I only see what gets posted online for the frequency of it. What I'm surprised that more people aren't doing is just recording maybe like 15 minutes of you going through all of these emotes like, thank you, fire, gang gang, gang gang, gang gang, all of that. Do that for maybe 10 minutes, and then just loop the video on a TikTok live stream. TikTok live streams are filled with fucking scams already. It's a fucking cesspool of scams. And one of the scams that people do is fake live streams where they just loop a video like that. I'm surprised people haven't been doing that for this trend, especially considering how easy it would be to do that. Like, I don't think anyone's going to be sitting there and recognizing like, oh, they didn't react to the roses. Oh my god, they didn't react to the dumbbell. Wait a minute, this is fake. And even if they did, what are they going to do about it? TikTok doesn't shut that shit down. They haven't shut down any of the scam streams, so I'm just surprised that that hasn't become more prevalent with this trend, but maybe it's just because I haven't been paying that much attention to the actual streams. Maybe this is super common and most people are faking it. That's very possible, I'm not sure. But yeah, I just wanted to talk about this a little bit because it is completely fucking out of control with how big this has become. That's about it. So yeah. There's two things you would never confuse me as: a tall person and a fan of TikTok. I've made it pretty clear over the years that I think TikTok has been largely detrimental to the development of the younger generation, as well as just overall a negative effect on people as a whole. In particular, the attention span of people. I really think that this is going to be something that'll be studied for decades to come. When we reach a point where human beings can't sit down for more than 30 seconds without squirming in their chair if they're not blasted with, finger family jingles and just perpetual stimulation from GTA gameplay and Subway Surfers. Like, I do think it has had a noticeably awful effect on people's brains. However, there is something I love. Freedom. I love it more than Garfield loves lasagna. My blood runs red. My belly's filled with cheeseburgers and brewskis. When I have a birthday party, I ask the attendees to sing the Pledge of Allegiance instead of the Happy Birthday song. If I wasn't a human, I'd be an eagle. That's how much I love freedom. God damn it. God bless. So, I think it's a beautiful thing that we have the freedom to download TikTok and subject ourselves to that fucking mind rot. And this is something that I've covered for a few years now because this is like a boogeyman that keeps rearing its head occasionally, like some kind of cameo in every season of the United States with the whole TikTok ban. That's been a proposal for years now, but recently it's been gaining a lot of steam, and today The president has signed a bill that will force a sale of TikTok, and if they don't divest after 9 months, they will be fundamentally banned. So TikTok is a very shady app, and there's been a lot of shadiness that's been reported in it for years, and it's even been deemed a national security threat due to the potential of China using it to collect data on Americans. This is something I'm sure all of you know. This isn't some kind of surprising plot twist here for all of you. And I'm sure all of you also know that there's no such thing as privacy anymore. Every single one of you watching this right now is actively having your data harvested and sold. But typically, your data is being sold by American companies. This is pretty rare in that it's a Chinese app that gained mainstream adoption by Americans, thus they are the ones that are getting the data as opposed to American companies. And the government's not super happy about that. So, if TikTok is not divested within 9 months to an approved buyer, then it's going kaput. It's going to vanish like that. It's going to be banned. TikTok CEO has even made a video going over all of this to its users, and it seems like they're going to be fighting tooth and nail here to push back against this. They believe it is unconstitutional. Before showing you the video, I'll read their statement. This unconstitutional law is a TikTok ban, and we will challenge it in court. We believe the facts and the law are clearly on our side, and we will ultimately prevail. The fact is, we have invested billions of dollars to keep US data safe and our platform free from outside influence and manipulation. This ban would devastate 7 million businesses and silence 170 million Americans. As we continue to challenge this unconstitutional ban, we will continue investing and innovating to ensure TikTok remains a space where Americans of all walks of life can safely come to share their experiences, find joy, and be inspired. Now, over the years of this TikTok tug-of-war that we've been seeing in the headlines about will it be banned, will it not be banned, I've kind of flip-flopped on my opinion of that. I negatively view TikTok. I don't have a good impression of it because I think the good on it, which undeniably there is good things that have come from TikTok, by giving everyone a voice, there is moments where it's able to highlight very important problems that are going on, and there are good content creators on there that are providing high quality entertainment and educational entertainment at some points on TikTok. It's also been huge for businesses, like just normal mom and pop businesses like that have been utilizing TikTok as a way of growing and flourishing. It's been super helpful to a lot of businesses. However, I feel like all of this is outweighed by the overall culture that TikTok has kind of fostered, where the most popular content is the ones that have Subway Surfers gameplay with cutting soap videos plastered on there because they know that the audience can no longer focus on just one video anymore. It needs to be constant stimulation and jingling keys to keep them there because it has damaged people's ability to focus. And also, a lot of the content that blows up on TikTok is the content that is just literally wrong, like fake garbage that serves just to fearmonger. Like, for instance, the easiest example, the solar eclipse. There were thousands of videos about the solar eclipse about to open up a demon portal because CERN's working behind the scenes during the solar eclipse, or like the red heifer has been sacrificed so the Antichrist is being summoning during the solar eclipse. All kinds of mumbo jumbo that serves just to keep the audience on TikTok scared and stupid, so that way they're constantly spending money to stop being scared and feeling stupid. So it's all very, like, there's some evil shit on there. It's also very dangerous because there's a lot of things that blow up on there that actually just get people killed, like the blackout challenge or like the Kia challenge where you're stealing cars. I could go on and on shaking my fist like the angry old man on the lawn, but I don't need to because all of you, I think, know that. But even with all that being said, I still overall feel that it's important that people have the ability to make choices for themselves, and if they choose to download TikTok, they should have the ability to do so. I don't like the government being the one to decide what you can and cannot access in regards to like an app on your phone. Now, in this case, I do recognize that TikTok is significantly shadier than most of the other major companies out there, but still, I think it is a scary precedent if the government is able to just start banning things that they don't like. Obviously, within reason, if it's just purely illegal content and distributing just a bunch of illegal criminal shit, clearly slap that down. That makes sense. But come on, it's a social media app. Like, who's to say there won't be another major platform or service that pops off in the United States that isn't owned by the United States? And who's to say they won't be like, okay, fuck them. We were able to ban TikTok. Let's go ahead and ban these guys too. It's not American made. We don't want it here.
Hi everyone. It's Show here. As you may have heard, Congress passed a bill that the president signed into law that is designed to ban TikTok in the United States. That will take TikTok away from you and 170 million Americans who find community and connection on our platform. Make no mistake, this is a ban on TikTok and a ban on you and your voice.
I don't think there's anyone on the planet that's making the mistake in thinking that it's not a ban. There's no smoke and mirrors here, no diversion. They're not mixing any words here to try and confuse you. It is just straight up a ban. Like, they're not hiding that fact. They either sell TikTok to an approved buyer, or they can no longer have TikTok in the United States.
It's actually ironic because the freedom of expression on TikTok reflects the same American values that make the United States a beacon of freedom. TikTok gives everyday Americans a powerful way to be seen and heard, and that's why so many people have made TikTok part of their daily lives. Rest assured, we aren't going anywhere.
I'm not going to play any more of this because it's mainly just a video letting the community know that they are going to be fighting as best they possibly can against this. And also, a lot of it's just talking about how special TikTok is. Like, it's such a wonderful, joyous place with sunshine and unicorns. Like, you know, it's delightful on TikTok, and we want to preserve that, so that's what we're fighting for. That's not what you're fighting for. You're fighting for TikTok so hard because it's such a massive moneymaker that has a huge adoption in the United States. You don't give a fuck about, like, the actual culture on TikTok. If you did, there'd be significantly less degeneracy on it, I imagine. Like, there is, like I said, even aside from, like, the data stuff and the spying potential, there have been some legitimately shady things going on with TikTok. The reason why they want this so badly to avoid divesting and avoid being banned is because it makes so much money. And they have so many users in the United States that they do not want to lose, and they do not want to give over to a different company, obviously. So yeah, anyway, I guess we'll see if TikTok is banned within the year, and if it is, that's going to be pure fucking pandemonium as people flock to, like, YouTube Shorts and Instagram Reels, I suppose. But anyway, that's really about it. So yeah. I don't trust anything online, and I never will. Especially not WebMD. Yep. And that has nothing to do with today. But recipes, I don't trust them when I see them online because they're usually terrible. But there's one that's been going viral that piqued my interest about vanilla ice cream, olive oil, and sea salt. So we're going to see if it's actually any good. Because to me, it sounds like one of those gross out things that people do as a prank. Like when 4chan used to tell you to make your own custom cooler during the summer.
And it would poison you, right?
And it would poison you, yeah. I don't think anyone died from it, but...
No.
Right, let's try it just plain by itself.
Oh, okay. I was like, we have the technology with us. You know, I'm in a cut, so I'm just a little piece. This is probably the best food for a cut. It's ice cream covered in fatty oil.
And salt.
With salt. The salt's fine, I
That
guess.
should be good for your gains.
Yeah.
Wow.
Why are you, like, you're getting like, kind of drag across?
I got it.
I got two. Here, yeah. Jesus.
It's not coming.
You got it.
I didn't realize our ice cream scoop has like the little rubber at the end. Isn't the reason they're all metal so your hand warms it? So it,
I
like,
think
cuts
so.
through
So it
easier?
scoops through.
Oh,
yeah, a
is
lot of
there?
them have liquid so that it.
Oh, so that one's cringe.
Should we do like... Should we do just like a scoop and then olive oil and salt?
This is all we're doing? Yeah, I mean, that's fine.
Oh, I just thought like a small sample
Yeah, unless
size.
you want a lot
Let's do
more.
it.
If it's good, you can have more.
Yeah. I don't know the ratio, so I'm just going to do a healthy dollop, I think.
Oh,
I think that's good.
Wow. That's a healthy dollop for sure. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Let's try it just like that and then add salt.
Okay, yeah, we're trying each step.
This is so bad.
That's how recipes work.
So gross. I don't want this.
Yep. That tastes like what
olive oil.
What I thought it would.
Ooh.
Add the salt. Maybe that's when it all comes together. Wow, that's not good. Yeah.
That's just olive oil.
It's just olive oil. Maybe my
Why
ratios
are you
were
going
off.
back into the ice cream?
My ratios could have been off.
It's not like so gross I had to spit it out. It's just like, I don't want a spoonful of olive oil. Yeah, give me some more. Some more ice cream, not olive oil.
Well, you're gonna get more of that too.
I did want to wait till we tried it to point out, because it's not going to hurt you, but you might think so, that our olive oil expired.
I didn't even know olive oil could expire.
I didn't either. So here,
Yeah. Whatever you think is the right amount of salt. Wow.
I think that's right. Yeah.
I did mine better than I did yours.
That's fine.
I don't want to wow after what you did with the olive oil.
Make sure you get enough olive oil on your ice cream.
Well, I guess my spoon's already coated, so now I can take the fresh ice cream. Let me know if it burns you before I eat it. Here, does it hurt?
Oh, I feel bad.
Oh, okay.
Oh. Oh. Okay.
Wait, the salt makes it like terrible?
Oh, I feel bad. What?
Why?
Oh my god. I can't.
There's zero chance anybody likes this. That's so fucking gross.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
And it feels bad.
So is it the salt and oil combo?
Yeah,
It doesn't leave your mouth.
It's because it's oil.
I know, it's coated my whole mouth.
I thought this was gonna be good. It just seems so basic. I'm like, there's no way it's gonna be awful, but that's revolting. Did you?
Yeah, it doesn't.
Was it too much salt and not enough olive oil?
I think it was too much
Was
oil.
there an actual recipe that came with
Here,
the
yeah.
amounts and
All right,
stuff?
pull out the recipe.
Yeah.
So we've done it our way.
Okay.
That was so disgusting.
It's called olive oil ice cream fleur de sel.
What was that last part?
Bless you.
Fleur de sel.
Fleur de sel.
Yeah.
Is that salt flour?
Yeah.
Look, I took 5 years of French, okay?
My throat hurts, actually.
Well, yeah, we just fucking swallowed oil and salt. That's so gross.
That was awful.
All right, yeah.
Look at how much oil they use on that. I didn't even use enough.
That's the problem.
That's what's crazy.
Oh my god, do we have barbecue chips?
What's the barbecue chip recipe?
It's crushed up barbecue chips on vanilla ice cream. They say it adds a. You know what? You want to go grab some barbecue chips? We'll do that
Have
next.
some like measuring cups or something if we want to actually try the recipe.
I can eyeball, you know. What's it say?
You can read it. Hold on. My throat's closing up.
You can read.
I don't think it is. Grab a water bottle too, Chelsea.
All right, so ice cream. Yeah, sea salt.
Is this sea salt? Is that where we fucked up?
No, it's not sea salt.
quarter-
It's also not virgin olive oil.
Quarter cup of. Oh yeah, we don't have that. What are they?
It's just pure olive
You know what
oil.
makes me mad? All the places now, they do it in this. That call extra virgin olive oil, Evo or whatever, EVOO. I'm like, just fucking put extra virgin olive oil. All right? It drives me crazy.
Ours is just poo.
That's where we went wrong, damn it.
We used the poo.
Well, to be fair, I guess we're not doing the best. We have expired olive oil and non-sea salt.
Okay, but be honest. If it
It's
was,
not- I don't
if
think
it
we-
was like non-expired,
This doesn't
and other
taste
salt-
expired. This just tastes like normal olive oil.
It doesn't. I don't
gotta-
think it changes.
I'm sweating a little bit. I'm taking my hoodie off.
Oh yeah, you got it. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's a quarter cup. They homemade their ice cream, but Bluebell's better than anything we can make. Let's be honest.
Okay.
All right, so quarter cup. I'll see if she brought measuring cups.
I didn't.
Okay, that's fine. So I would say you brought Chipotle tray.
Well, I
Look,
brought it in case you needed other bowls.
we know we're scuffed, but you've made us look
Also,
this
right
much
behind
more.
you.
What? Oh!
Magic.
I want her gone. So now we're measuring properly.
What did they call for
A
half
quarter cup.
Quarter cup.
A quarter cup?
Oh my god, that is so much oil. That's just soup.
It's definitely, we used less ice cream.
Well, let's
That
get
doesn't
more ice
matter.
Yeah, get some more. I mean, yeah, because the ratios, you know?
Yeah, but you're just taking a piece of ice cream. It's not like you're mixing it together or anything.
That's true. I've got olive oil everywhere. I'm going to poop later, and it's
It's gonna slide right out.
I'm actually not going to make it to the bathroom. It's just, oh, God.
Okay.
All right, how much salt did it say?
Let me pull up the schematics.
I think
again
we
real
may have
quick.
gone wrong with the salt. We used a lot.
2/3 a cup
Wait,
that's so much salt.
No, wait, they've got to be talking about.
It's from
oh, that's sugar.
That's sugar. That's in
half
their
a teaspoon.
ice
Half a
cream.
teaspoon.
Half a teaspoon.
Okay, I was like 2/3 cups of salt. That's just eating a cup of salt.
That's just iodine poisoning.
2/3. Wait, no, you said a teaspoon?
Half a teaspoon.
Half a teaspoon. That's perfect.
That might have been where we went wrong.
You think I'm gonna miss any of this? What's this? Get in here. I barely missed any.
Okay. That's so much even more.
That is so much salt.
Okay, I don't want a kidney stone.
Mix it.
In case I
don't think you mix your ice cream.
That's fine. Just like that.
You're right.
Wait, who mixes ice cream?
Yeah, mix it.
You're totally fucking right.
All right, so I'll take a little. I'm just gonna get a little bit because we've already had 400 calories.
Oh my god, it's so...
Yeah, get on in there.
It's so gross.
I don't know why we think this is gonna taste any different than the last one.
Cheers,
bud.
Oh! There's no way anyone eats this. There's no way. It's
gross.
There's actually no fucking way.
And it just coats the fucking mouth. Why? This had to be a prank.
It has to be.
Classic TikTok at it again. Pranked me.
It has to be.
Let me get that out of there.
That's so much good ice cream has gone to waste.
I completely agree.
Someone will eat that.
Yeah. Nothing goes to waste here. We give it all to our crew.
You know who would actually eat that is Caleb.
Absolutely. He'd be like, sure. And
oh, is that olive oil ice cream?
We'd be like, take a bite, and he'd eat the whole thing, and he'd be like, I'm fine. And then we'd find him puking in the bathroom.
Yeah.
Classic. All right, so real quick, just as a show here, take a little bit of chocolate on your spoon. You too.
Sorry, I wasn't following along.
I feel like Bill Nye.
Oh, you guys could do it like a tequila shot. And put the salt on the back of your hand and rip the ice cream and then...
I bet this will be fine.
Yeah, this just sea salt and chocolate.
That's good.
Yep. Tastes like salted chocolate ice cream.
Yep.
Now?
The second you add that olive oil, it's going to be revolting.
All right, let's we'll waste a little less this time. Let's just... You happy with that?
Yeah, it's a good amount.
We'll try a real amount. And then...
Just, yeah, a couple tiddlywinks.
Yeah, we're fixing the recipe. There we go. Oh, my fucking salt, baby.
There it is. Did any of that make it in the bowl? That did. There we go.
Boom.
All right, here comes the choo-choo train.
Here we go.
Cheers. Yep, one is a little better.
It is better. I think because the chocolate's so much stronger, it maps it here.
Yeah. Oh.
It's not bad enough yet.
Yeah.
Gotta go back in.
We're not doing the... I could swallow that one.
Yeah, that one made it down the pipe.
Now it's TikTok.
This is so fucking awful.
Cheers.
Yep, that's ruined. Yep, that's
Back to the vanilla one.
Chelsea, come try this. If you like,
Wait, no, you like everything we have.
if you like this, then we'll know it's really bad.
And I'm like reading, there's so many articles that are saying it's like,
That's
it's the
always
best
right?
thing ever, yeah. So
Alright.
I feel like it's not actually a
Are
hack.
you okay with my spoon?
Yeah, sure.
You don't have to be.
Don't we have
Oh yeah, perfect.
a whole thing of them right there.
That's what I
You don't
saw
want
too,
my
which
spoon?
is why I thought it'd be like fine.
We're just going to do one bite for you. How about
Yeah.
that?
Just do some olive oil on that, some salt. Dress it up.
I won't go crazy, I promise.
Okay, well, it needs to be that's better.
I'm dripping off the excess.
As you do with your oily ice cream.
And then, here, let me go back here.
Yeah, just pinch it. Well, more than
Yeah. Well, 2 pinches.
That's not even a
always.
floor to sole.
Now, it's sticking to my fingers. There you go. That's probably good enough.
Well, hold on, it needs a little more salt.
Oh yeah, take a little more.
Okay, cheers.
This is why you have 2 chefs make this.
Yeah.
Because
Thanks,
one's
guys.
judgment is always biased.
I knew it was
I
bad.
knew she'd be okay with it.
I don't taste the olive oil.
You didn't put enough on.
Here, let me swim back.
If you didn't taste the olive oil, you did not get the recipe. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah. Here comes the airplane.
That is actually what the recipe called for.
That's what we ate.
We went by the measurements.
There you go. Here's my trash can. Oh, don't spit with my hand on it. Jesus Christ. Okay, yeah, see, it's not good.
Now, So when you had it the first time with less olive oil, did you like it, or was it just tolerable?
I think it was tolerable. I don't.
Okay, it wasn't
But I
good.
also didn't like taste the olive oil.
So you just
That's
had
what I
ice
went
cream
wrong.
with
Yeah.
salt on it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I don't get it because everyone was like really raving about this. And I don't think it's a joke. Like I don't think it was ironic.
Oh, so bubbly. All right, yeah, let me get him a
Yeah,
spoon.
give me.
Yeah, hand me a spoon. Hand me a spoon.
We haven't destroyed the table enough. We gotta keep going.
God, we really should open our own ice cream shop. Bam!
Wait, you have so much salt there, just dip it.
The hands of a surgeon.
Yeah.
But I'm more losing the ice cream. Here, let me just make sure you're getting enough.
Okay.
It was almost instant.
He looks like he's so mad.
It's just like you don't taste the ice
I
cream at
know,
all.
you
It's
just
just salt and oil.
I know the first thing the comments
Yeah, it
are
was
they're gonna be
lovely,
like, they
thank
didn't
you.
use enough ice cream. It's just shit. I
Well, no,
promise it's
we
bad.
definitely we went by their measurements.
Yeah, but we didn't measure the ice cream.
Well, I mean,
It doesn't matter. It's still a scoop of
Yeah,
ice
but
cream. It's still a
still,
scoop of
it's
ice
shit.
cream.
It's shit.
Because you're not mixing it together like a
It's
soup.
really
so it doesn't really
fucking
matter.
bad, no matter what you do.
Wow. Who would have guessed we were led astray again by a TikTok recipe?
I'm tired of TikTok pranking me.
Yeah, all right, let's try the barbecue chip one now.
This is one.
That's probably the saving
This
grace.
is one Chelsea found. It's probably really good. So it's vanilla ice cream.
This one can't be bad, I don't think.
Yeah, I feel like that's what you eat when you're really high.
Yeah.
You know, every cheat meal I take each week, my ice cream with barbecue chips.
There's zero chance this is bad.
You think? Like actually?
Yeah, I think this is just gonna be good.
I put barbecue chips on my sandwich, like if I go to a sub shop, which everybody knows that's just like a scoop of vanilla ice cream.
Yeah.
I just spit everywhere.
It's okay.
I can't.
You can't tell. There's oil all over the table.
Well, that's the problem. Everything's just slipping right out of me.
Not as good as I would have thought.
Same, but better.
Yeah.
By a landslide.
Not even a competition, really.
Yeah, you do get like a little nice smokiness.
Yeah.
From the barbecue.
I have an idea. Have you tried fusing the two?
Oh.
Maybe that's the secret. Maybe the first one left out the barbecue.
Now we're talking.
It's like
alchemy.
the Da Vinci Code. They're trying to hide messages within the TikToks. This is for you. Who was that? Was that Tom Cruise? Not Tom Cruise.
No.
Tom Hanks.
Yeah.
Tom Hanks, yeah. Okay.
Somewhere out there, he's smiling right now.
Yeah, he's like, they figured it out.
They finally did it.
Alright.
This is fucking awful. It just looks so bad.
I was doing so well on my cut.
Once I got through the salt, the barbecue chips came back. Now it's
You
oil.
gotta get through the olive oil.
Now it's a lot of oil.
There's so much oil. I mean, I did it, but there's so much.
I think if you could ratio that a little better, that might not be terrible. Like with the barbecue chips for the salt instead of using salt.
I think the salt is fine. I just don't think the olive oil will ever add anything positive.
I don't either. Can't trust anyone.
No. You used to be able to go on the internet and get good, real advice. You know,
good recipes.
We should see if we can get
Start
a
one of
terrible
these.
recipe trending and
should,
like
yeah.
people pretend to like it.
The internet used to be a safe place for people to go and just learn and gather better information. It used to be like that, and now it's just a disgusting place.
There's a wasteland
full of this and terrorists.
And fucking OnlyFans.
Yep, woke liberals.
Goddamn liberals.
We got everything. How long until people start? Yeah, that's the recipe right there. Do that again.
Yeah, I found the recipe TikTok needs.
Yeah.
By Bluebell.
That should be ours. We should be like, we figured out a crazy recipe, and it's just like you open up Bluebell ice cream, put 2 scoops in, and fucking eat it. Damn. You're done. Stop putting olive oil on it.
Well, it was worth a try. Why, hello there. This is one of the rare serious videos. Why? I just want to know why. This video I'd like to directly aim at any active TikTok power users over the age of 18. I simply just want to know why. What is the purpose of it all? What's your ulterior motive? For those of you who don't know, and I know none of you don't know, every single one of you fucking knows what TikTok is. Kids being born these days know TikTok before their fucking alphabet. It's the biggest thing on the planet. It's apparently worth like $600 billion. It's insane. It's fucking insane how big it is. But is it really? Jackson and I have been speculating, fucking tinfoil hatting it, and just really trying to wrap our heads around, can this actually be legitimate? I understand the appeal to a younger demographic, that I get, to a certain extent. I would never have used it when I was a kid. I don't see why younger people find it cool, but I understand that it's geared towards that demographic. But then you have like the people my age and older. You have fucking geriatrics patients doing the whip and nay-nay to the I want to be Tracer, I'm already Genji, I'd butt-fuck Diva, oh, Nerf Bastion. I just don't get it. I'm trying to understand. At 24, that's how old I am. I'm 24 is not that old, but in 2018, it feels fucking ancient. I feel like a goddamn fossil. I already don't understand most of mainstream music. I don't get the appeal of listening to something that sounds like a highly distorted wet fart into a plastic trash can with some horrible lyricism thrown on it about like fucking flexing and staying lit. It's baffling. But TikTok is the biggest enigma of them all. I would sooner understand string theory and prove it before I understood the appeal of TikTok and the scale. I truly just don't understand it. I'm gonna go ahead and blast your assholes here with some fine TikTok trends real quick that I'm certain all of you have already seen because thousands of YouTubers shit on them ad nauseum daily. It's the lowest hanging fruit on the internet. I'm not brave by asking the question or insulting TikTok, but someone's gotta fucking pose this directly to the people. You older generation that are making TikTok content, your TikTok queefs. Why? You use the internet, you see the insults on YouTube, you don't make this shit ironically, it doesn't seem. Are you getting paid by TikTok to make this? I feel like you are. I feel like they're inflating their numbers by paying up-and-coming actors to overact this shit and try and get trends to catch on. That's just speculation, I can't prove that, don't take me to court, TikTok, it's not slander, it's not libel.
I'm already Tracer. What about Widowmaker? I'm already Widowmaker. I'll be Bastion. Nerf Bastion. You're right, so Winston. I wanna be Winston. I guess I'll be Genji. I'm already Genji. Then I'll be McCree. I already chose McCree.
That was inspiring, right? Makes you want to crank that soldier boy, hit the stanky leg, and have your father film it for that TikTok clout, don't it? I just don't understand it. The biggest thing that really confuses me and makes me skeptical of the entire platform is the numbers on them. Any TikTok page you click on is going to have millions of fans. Old Pop Wiggle Wiener down over there at his barn making fucking barnyard rodeo TikTok videos probably has like 10 million followers. And that's on the low end of the TikTok fame side. The sheer numbers on that platform are so unbelievable that I genuinely have a hard time believing them. It's incredible. Every video you click on, millions of likes. Hundreds and thousands of comments that are typically just one emoji, the fire emoji. If you read the reviews on TikTok, there's some people pointing out fake reviews, and there's some really suspicious reviews on there that are just like, this is lit, fire. This is cool, fire, fire. This is amazing, exclamation point, exclamation point, exclamation point. Mom left dad again, and I don't think she's coming back, but I have TikTok, exclamation point, fire. It's weird, it's fishy. It's a little bit odd how a brand new service, pretty much, is as big as it is. Every government in the world could collectively come together and say, you know what, ladies and gentlemen, we're giving away $10,000 for free to every single one of you citizens out there that download this specific app, the We Heart Government app, and that app would have less downloads than TikTok. I just don't get it. So I want this. Yeah, I don't know what I want from this. I don't know. No TikTok user is going to publicly talk about why they use TikTok, I don't think. Thank you, Tetra. No TikTok user is going to come out and say why they use it or how much they're being paid by TikTok to use it. because it's unethical. And that'd ruin the credibility of TikTok as a platform, so I understand why they won't. But I'm on to you, TikTok. I was the one that fucking discovered your shitty platform on YouTube. I was the one that started shitting on you. I am the patient zero of shitting on TikTok. Everyone else is simply just another victim of being exposed to the outbreak. But I was the one who dove in to your fungal infected cesspool of shit content and really weird predatory shit and shit on it first. That was me. And now I'm coming back to finish the rim job. I'm closing the book on it. So please, if you or a loved one or someone you know suffers from creating horrible TikTok content, please get help. Tell us why. Admit it. Please, just explain it to me. I have to understand. It's fucking 5 a.m. I don't even know why I bothered making this. Just fucking having cold sweats at 5 a.m. thinking about TikTok and its popularity and how I'm not cool because I don't use it, I guess. But I need to know. I have to understand. I just really can't fathom a universe where this generation is going to look back on TikTok 50 years from now fondly and be like, yeah, that was some good shit. That was TikTok before it took over the, global government. They used to be such a humble platform full of great things, and now they rule the earth. I just can't imagine people would ever think TikTok is as cool as it appears to be. It doesn't appear to be cool. That's not what I'm looking for. I just can't imagine that people actually unironically use TikTok for the most part, and that it's as big as it seems. I just don't fucking get it, man. It just makes no fucking sense to me. Alright, see ya. I'm a huge fan of internet weirdos that post content online. I get really excited when I find a new entertaining goofball. And over the years, I've kind of made this collection in my little noodle up here, like a little mental museum of my favorite internet oddities. And I'll sometimes just get the urge to see how they're doing. So I'll go to their content, put their sack in my hand, and tell them to cough to give them a checkup, just to see what's going on and have a little laugh. And recently, I was made aware of one of the most bafflingly delusional content creators I've seen in quite some time, which is a TikTok psychic named Ashley. I made a video on her going over her whole situation. I'll break it down just in case you don't know who this is. Ashley is a self-proclaimed clairvoyant psychic who tries to solve real-world mysteries. She uses less reasoning than Scooby-Doo does in the cartoon. Like, she doesn't even bother actually investigating. She just makes up fan fiction that she pulls out of her ass and then tries to portray it as the truth. So she recently made like 100-something TikTok videos accusing a woman named Rebecca Schofield of being the person responsible for the murder of 4 University of Idaho students. This is a complete baseless claim. She used tarot card readings as well as her own patented method of tapping into the universal consciousness, surfing the cosmic vibes of astrology or whatever, and accusing Rebecca Schofield relentlessly of being the murderer. She's now being sued for this because, as it turns out, Rebecca Schofield is completely innocent. It seems Ashley is going to need to spend a little more time mastering the avatar state to get the proper information, because here's the main suspect, Brian Koberger. Now, even if it somehow turns out by a crazy plot twist it's not Brian, even though there is a ton of fucking evidence behind it being him, it is still 100% not Rebecca Schofield, as Ashley has claimed hundreds of times now. Now, you would assume that a rational person, after being sued for defamation for accusing an innocent woman of being a murderer, and the most likely real murderer being arrested, you'd think that she'd then be like, yep, looks like I was wrong, this is a big boo-boo from me here, sorry about all that. The natural next step would be apologizing and trying to move on from it, backpedaling like, looks like I made a mistake, the spirit realm was, the Wi-Fi signals were blocking it and I didn't have my shungite around me. But in the case of Ashley, you'd be wrong, because she commits even further to the delusion, and even after the threat of being slapped around legally, she is still maintaining that she's correct and everyone else is wrong. I'd like to show you some of these TikToks, and I already did talk about some of these in the last video I made, but I actually want to bring this out to a bigger topic, and that's people's inability to accept responsibility even when faced with the absolute truth. People are so afraid of being wrong that they will just do the most unrealistic mental gymnastics that you couldn't even write in a fucking cartoon in order to justify how they're still correct and they're not wrong. I've seen this all over Twitter. When someone gets dunked on Twitter, like they get provably like dunked on with facts, logic, evidence, they still will discredit it or come up with some reason that that evidence, the facts, the proven truth is wrong and they are right. It's this weird defense mechanism that's so infuriating. You see it all the time with flat earthers. How many times have flat earthers proven with their own experiments that the world is round, and yet they still decide to believe that it's flat? It's people still just wanting to feel special. And it doesn't matter what you bring to them, no matter how bulletproof the evidence or the truth is, they'll just decide not to care. They'll just go back to that belief that makes them feel like they're above everyone else and their intelligence is unrivaled. It really grinds my asshole, like chafes the fuck out of it. I went on Ashley's TikTok today because I thought it'd be fun just to have a little giggle. But as I watched her videos, that smile quickly turned to a frown, and I just got so frustrated listening to her try and justify how she's still right.
Also, let's pay attention to the statement the University of Idaho gave regarding the lawsuit that Rebecca Schofield has against me, but also the accusations that I made that she was the one who ordered and who is responsible for the murder of the 4 University of Idaho students. It says, while this lawsuit is a private matter, U of I does not condone spreading false information and find this particular allegation to be one of the worst we have seen.
That sounds reasonable. Straight and to the point. This is false information and some of the worst we've ever seen. Also, the fan fiction she's writing is absolute garbage and fucking trash. She should stop trying to write these erotic novels that she's cooking up here and trying to pass it off as real evidence in a legitimate murder where 4 students lost their lives. She's trying to capitalize off the death of these 4 students for her own clout. So there was a lot more they could have said to really just, drive the nail in, but they made a very generic boilerplate response that still just kind of covers this, like, the whole situation.
They've made it clear that they do not condone the spreading of false information. That's one. And for this one, they believe that the allegations I've made is the worst they've seen. Let's pay attention to what they didn't say, which is they didn't say that they agree that Rebecca Schofield didn't know these students. They didn't say that they agree that she didn't teach these students. And they didn't say that they agree that she didn't advise or mentor any of these students. This statement is carefully written, just in case she's guilty.
Getting your arm caught in an escalator and having it crushed to fucking pieces in front of you would be less painful and less traumatizing than listening to her speak about this situation. I don't even know where to begin. Let's start with the obvious. What the fuck are you even trying to say? Here's their statement. But here's what's suspiciously absent from their statement. This is some stupid shit a 4-year-old would cook up in their head. You can actually make this argument for every statement ever. For example, with your own TikToks, you have not once said that you aren't the murderer. Should I start suspecting you as a culprit in this case, as one of the chief suspects? You've made hundreds of TikToks, and I don't think you've mentioned being innocent here. Where were you on the night of the murders, Ashley? It's very odd that you've chosen not to proclaim your innocence or mention where you were on the night of the murders. Now I'm starting to, furrow my brow a bit here and wonder, what's going on behind the scenes, Ashley? Why hasn't that been part of any of your statements? Peculiar, isn't it? They didn't address any of the brain-dead shit that you said in this TikTok in their statement because they didn't fucking need to. It's already been proven by law enforcement that you're just wrong on every single goddamn claim.
It's a lot of people on YouTube, on the news and articles, the comments, TikTok videos, whatever. When the truth comes out and you see that I'm right, I just want you guys to leave that stuff up and stand on what you said. Don't delete it and try to bandwagon. Stand on it.
Your arrogance makes me want to cry. Ashley, if anything comes out that's even remotely adjacent to you making a claim that's almost grounded in reality, I will actually shit my fucking pants. Of course I will keep it all up. For those that don't know, a bulk of her claims were about Rebecca Schofield and her internalized lesbianism, where she was an advisor or a mentor to one of the students and she fell in love with her, but this conflicted with her traditional values, and then the student, you know, she was kind of old, and then, but what about Rebecca's husband? And she just made like a 50 Shades of Grey novel around real murders and blaming a real innocent lady for all of it. And not only her, she also throws another real person under the bus as a potential murderer here, talking about how they, you know, like fucking formed this kind of villain alliance here and hired assassins to take out the students. It's an unreal amount of garbage, and it actually does make me upset that she truly believes it so firmly.
I took a nap. I tried to quit, but I can't quit. And I don't even want to cry on you, but when I went to sleep, I had a dream. And in the dream, it was Kaylee's mom and Kaylee's dad. And I was by Kaylee's mom, and we were just crying. And that is so hurtful. But anyway, I'm not going to quit. I've mistakenly let them lead me into masculine energy, which is protective energy, because of the lawsuits and all the negativity and the media and the comments and things of that sort. I've let them force me into masculinity, protective energy. But I should have continued to focus on what I know, which is feminine, intuitive, receptive energy.
Absolutely disgusting. She's now talking about how one of the victim's parents came to her in a dream and they were crying together over all of this. And then, you know, all of the negativities forcing her into masculine energy. Whatever the fuck that means. I did, however, get a laugh out of this whole, like, masculine versus feminine energy thing, as if it's just something that can wash over you because some people left mean comments or called you out on your bullshit. Like, damn, goodness gracious, I looked at a piece of wood today and the masculine energy nearly made me pass out. Or like, hey, Charlie, we're going to a bar tonight, are you in? Nah, sorry, I can't, bro. I ate a Pop-Tart earlier today and I got hit with some childish energy, so now I'm no longer old enough to drink. But you guys have fun tonight. Just such a fucking stupid, silly thing.
Long story short, I'm not posting no more free information regarding this case online anymore. You got people on here asking me information and using my information, then turn around and saying I'm crazy or leading protests against me and allowing me to be badgered.
Even when she does decide to shut the fuck up, which I imagine she was advised to do by a lawyer who's instructed daily. And even Charlie D'Amelio, in her 25 videos per day, will post the exact same dance, you know, at 8 in the morning, and then post it again at 3 p.m. in the afternoon. The same dance, the same moves, the same song. Like, I don't really get it. And, well, I just don't think I ever really will. But, hey, we gave it a fucking try with Shade, and I feel I could have done it if only I'd committed harder. That's about it. So yeah. Most of you know me from my sensational performance in the Hunger Games Mockingjay Part 1, where I played unnamed, uncredited District 8 helper who overshadowed Jennifer Lawrence's performance and struck fear into the hearts of the Academy Award panel. I was snubbed that year, and I try not to bring this up too often, but it's no secret either. I pretty much have to sign autographs and sign titties every time I go out in public and just get mobbed by fans of the Hunger Games series, all thanking me for my contribution to making that franchise work. Without my character in the Hunger Games Mockingjay Part 1, Jennifer Lawrence's career would have absolutely ended up in the shitter. She used me as a platform to springboard and accelerate her success. She fucking Goomba stomped me like Super Mario. She just bounced off of my head to reach new heights. And I'm not mad about it. Look, I understand. I taught Jennifer Lawrence pretty much everything she learned. That's why you saw a significant increase in her acting ability post-Mockingjay Part 1. She copied my techniques. But that's beside the point. The reason I'm bringing this up is because that's where most of you know me from. And I recognize that. But, as of the last 2 weeks, I think, a lot of people are recognizing me for something entirely different. TikTok. I have inadvertently become a viral sensation on TikTok for an old Twitch clip. And I'd like to just kind of talk about this because it's pretty fucking wild. Most of you know I went to the dark side recently and made a TikTok account. It's called Huge Charles here. It's run by a buddy of mine named Aaron. He just takes clips from videos and puts them up there, just short little things. And it's fun, but I don't really interact with the platform until I learned that I was like one of the #1 sounds on it for about a week. And it's for this clip right here. Kill him, I'll give you money. How much? What's the bounty on me team killing this guy and looking at his reaction? $5? Too low. This is a special gamer right here.
Come on, guys, we gotta go.
What is it? 200k GP. We're talking in GP, I'm on it.
Stop fucking shooting me! What the fuck is wrong with you? Chill!
It was a misinput, calm down! You calm the fuck down! There was a misinput!
Oh my fucking god.
God, this community is overreacting. This, of course, came from the best Twitch streamer of all time, Moist Critical. Please feel free to stop by. In fact, you should. It's mandatory. This was one of the first clips I ever had on Twitch. This was within the first month of me streaming. This was back in 2018. In this game, I was playing Siege. I think it was a casual match, and the guy that the person put the bounty on to kill was an asshole. He was being really rude and getting, like, super loud. So some guy in the chat said he'd give me money to kill him. Little did he know I would have done it just for the fun of the sport. So this guy fucking squeezed this guy for some shit here. And, of course, I followed through on the team kill. You can see that the guy wasn't too happy about it. But after I disciplined him like a stern father, gave him a talking to, he calmed down. He settled down a little bit. Now, this soundbite has gone viral on TikTok under the sound name Misinput, which makes it sound like a AFI song like Miss Murder. They make it sound like someone's name, Misinput. It's pretty cute. Something out of Clue, it sounds like, and it's adorable, to be honest. I find it to be very adorable. There's over 3,300 videos using this sound clip, and I only just recently learned what that meant. On TikTok, there's like sounds where if you like trim something and use it, anyone else can use that sound as well, and then it becomes like a trend potentially, which is what they do with music, which is why music blows up so big there. And this was one of the chosen ones for about 2 weeks, or like the number one for a week or something. I don't know how to check the goddamn charts on TikTok if there is such a thing, but I got emails about it. I checked in on it, and it's gone up by like 200 videos every couple of hours, so it's been pretty wild. Let me show you what one of these videos looks like.
Chill!
It was a misinput, calm down! You calm the fuck down! There was a misinput!
Oh my fucking... Chill!
It was a misinput, calm down! You calm the fuck down! There was a misinput! You get the idea. It's always the same exact video where I was trying to send this message but accidentally sent a sexual one where I want to fuck someone's ass or something like that. Or in the more tame world, I was doing homework and accidentally put the wrong answer. Classic TikTok shit. Now, since this is my sound clip, I will be copyright striking every single TikTok user that dared have the gall to use my content. I'm gonna be the fucking boogeyman of TikTok. That's right. I'm going right into your mother's purse and I'm taking money out of her wallet for your audacity to use my shit. I'm gonna be like a gluttonous Winnie the Pooh and I'm just trying to get my piece of the honey. You feel me? I'm coming in raw and no rubber. TikTok has used me like a fleshlight. I wasn't even credited with the sound, and now I'm coming in deep. Obviously, I'm just kidding. I actually find this super fucking cool. I never would have thought any, like, clip of mine would be some kind of TikTok trend. Not that I really understand TikTok all that well, but I just don't even know what it would fucking look like. Even to me, this makes no sense at all, but I'm still happy about it. I think it's really, I think it's something special. This is the only good TikTok trend, the misinput trend, the only one I'll ever sign off on. All the other ones suck some fat ass. But this is for the intellectual chads right here. This is the good shit. I just wanted to briefly talk about it because for the last couple of years I've had nothing but negative things to say about TikTok, and I still have almost nothing but negative things to say about the majority of the popular TikTok content. But today I have nothing but positive things to say about the misinput TikTok trend. Absolutely fantastic stuff. And I'm honored. That's about it. See ya. Please, let us take a moment of silence for the YouTubers that now post on TikTok. Thank you. It's like a fucking ASPCA commercial. It's weird, everyone on YouTube collectively took fat shits on Musical.ly, but now with TikTok, wait a second, can call that home. Everyone's going to TikTok. No disrespect for any YouTubers, anyone that does post on TikTok. It's just not my cup of cum. I'm not a huge fan of it. I think it's one of probably the second most humorless place on the planet, second only to Reddit. And it's just a barren wasteland of fun. Going through your parents' divorce is more fun than going through TikTok, at least in my opinion. I think it's all bad on there. And to showcase that, I'm going to show you some of the most popular trends going on right now that I was able to find, so let's dive right in. Bravo, that was a fun TikTok for everyone to enjoy, especially the janitor, the worker that's going to have to go and clean that up because your affluent ass definitely isn't going to be bothered to do it. That really kind of sums up the comedy on TikTok. This will be hilarious, just pouring this liquid into the glass until it overflows and gets on the floor and makes someone else clean it up. Yeehaw, baby, rebellious 9-year-olds for the win, except I'm 24 years old and I have a kid and I'm really trying my best to be famous on the internet. Better do this challenge on TikTok. So you'll never guess the name of this one. It's called the Spill the Drink Challenge, and there's music that plays, but I can't play it because it's a copyrighted song, but it says, hose, and that's while they're pouring it the whole time, and it's drawn out. The shit is genius. A fucking masterpiece. A beautiful challenge, just doing it right there in the middle of McDonald's, making sure to get everyone in the crowd involved, you know, getting water or Sprite on everyone, which is exactly what you want when you're just going about your day, trying to get some cheap-ass food. Yep, that's what I want, to feel like my feet are getting pissed on. Great stuff. To be fair, this is the only one of this challenge I saw that was done in a public location. Everything else was staged with their family or their friends in their own house and using water or Coke for the most part. So this was just a real pioneer who decided to take it to the next level and do it in public and make everyone uncomfortable and be a public nuisance for the internet clout. I'm not going to play any more from this challenge because you get the idea. Every single one is just staring at the camera and overfilling a glass. It's fucking awful. Let's move on to a different one.
You're so bad. And baby, I want you so bad, yeah. You're so bad, yeah. And baby, I want you so bad. You're so bad. And baby, I want you so bad, yeah. You're so bad, yeah. And baby, I want you so bad.
I should have warned you to come in here with a change of panties, because we're all getting wet with this challenge. This is the You So Bad, I Want You So Bad challenge. And I'd be lying if I said I didn't put butterflies in my nutsack. Man, what a confidence booster. It's like, damn, all these dudes looking at me like this, saying they want me, like I'm so bad, and they want me bad. Like, god damn.
You're so bad. And baby, I want you so bad, yeah. You're so bad, yeah. And baby, I want you so bad.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it, those are children. Those are kids. I feel like even having watched this clip in the middle of a compilation puts me on a list. I also don't really know when Bass Pro Shop became like acceptable fashion. When I was growing up, the only time you'd ever see anyone in Bass Pro Shop gear is if they were kissing their sister and 40 years old with a beer belly. I can't imagine kids now are wearing Bass Pro Shop merch, but hats off to Bass Pro Shop for breaking into a younger demographic.
You're so bad. And baby, I want you so bad, yeah. You're so bad, yeah. And baby, I want you so bad.
There's no greater mystery in this world than the one that you see before you. How do you get more than one person to be in your shitty TikTok? How does no one along the way say, hey guys, this sucks. Why are we doing this? This is embarrassing. Why is there no sense of shame when it comes to TikToks? I'm always surprised when there's more than one person in a TikTok. I get why one delusional person might think it's a good idea, you know, fucking biting on their lip and lip syncing and shit. I get that. But when you bring in like 3 other people, how does not one of them say, this is dumb, this sucks shithole? But hats off to them. You know, you got 3 dudes gathered around with their red Solo cup trying to give the illusion that they're drinking alcohol, but they're clearly under 21, clearly under 18, so they're most likely just in there with fruit punch or root beer. And then you have one dude dance around the back. I mean, even scripting that and telling your friends what you're going to do, how does no one just say, no thank you, this is embarrassing? But whatever, a group TikTok effort, very popular, hats off to them, they're having fun. I feel like such a fucking boomer shitting on new generation entertainment, but I just don't get it. I don't know who's scrolling through TikTok, stops on this one, gets a big old smile on their face and leaves it a heart. Like, there's no joke there. I hate when the joke is the song or like a goofy dance. I hate that. I fucking hate it. That is my least favorite form of comedy. Big on Instagram, big on TikTok, was big on Musical.ly, which is TikTok. Just not for me. We'll move on from this challenge, though, and go to another doozy, another real banger of a challenge. on TikTok to look at girls, but I have to wonder who goes on TikTok to look at girls. What the fuck is the point of that when the internet exists? There's millions and millions of girls on the internet doing all kinds of crazy shit. You can find pretty much anything to suit your degenerate taste. Brazilian fart porn if you're into that. You can watch a girl put Fruit Loops into her gaping asshole while another girl puts a spoon in there and eats them out. You can watch a girl putt golf balls into another girl's gaping asshole. There is anything. The sky is the limit. Why it's not illegal? It certainly should be soon. Well, I think this has been enough to make my point. There is nothing good on TikTok at all, unless you're like a predator, maybe. I just don't get it. I never really thought I'd reach the age where I didn't understand new stuff. Like, growing up, I was always like, yeah, that doesn't make any sense. That'll never happen. I'll always be with the times and understanding everything and being able to partake in technology and shit. But now, I totally fucking see it. I get why boomers don't understand how to use a fucking cell phone. I get it. I am finally at a point where I just don't understand something that younger people like. It's a fucking sad feeling. Getting old. And it's gonna happen to you too if you're young and watching this. Don't think that it's only boomers. It's gonna be you too, you fucking loser. You're also going to get to the point where you're like, oh my god, what is the younger generation doing? This makes no sense to me. It's gonna happen. I definitely see it just being a natural order of things now. I get it. And it sucks. Also, TikTok fucking sucks. You know what? It's not me. It's not boomers that are the problem. It's the younger generation with shit taste. TikTok sucks. It's bad. That's it. See ya. I'm not a man who scares easily. Horror games, horror movies, horror videos, they don't do shit to me. They don't frighten me even a little bit. And I already know there's going to be some people in the comments claiming that I'm afraid of cockroaches. And I just want to go ahead and put those rumors to bed once and for all. Yes, I realize in the past there's been times where I've encountered a cockroach and you've heard me screech and squeal and scream. But that's not because I was doing it out of fear. It's actually an offensive battle tactic. What I was doing was screaming to try and stun the cockroach with sound to overload it so it couldn't fly away. Because in Florida we have palmetto bugs, which are basically flying cockroaches. So by screaming, I stun it. Kind of like how a banshee attacks. So just wanted to clear the air on that. Not afraid of cockroaches. In fact, I'm just 10 steps above the standard cockroach hunting methods. I've employed advanced tactics, which include the loud noises that I make. So I'm not afraid of that, but today I would like to share something with you that genuinely terrifies me. It's a TikTok account called Bug. Click on a bug workout video, you have a 50-50 chance of seeing simulated rape. Literally about half of his TikTok videos are him in a situation where his goblin friends tie a girl's legs down or weigh them down, and then he comes in, takes off his shirt, and insinuates that he's gonna rape her. And his friends look on all excited and doing some of this, like there's some cartoon evil villains. Just look at his accomplice here, Slim Shady. I mean, he is smiling ear to ear. He looks like a kid on Christmas morning who's so excited he just saw that new bicycle he'd always wanted under the tree. But here, he's just excited to see his friend's cock as he fucks without consent. It's so creepy and weird. There is a ton of videos that he's posted just like this. I'll share just one. Cro-Magnon has clearly found his niche and he embraces it fully. I'm pretty sure there's not a single video on his TikTok account that doesn't have him shirtless, and I'm pretty sure the only workout this guy does is endless crunches. This guy's entire physique looks like it comes from a WikiHow guide on how to be a TikTok douchebag. It looks like he's neglected most of the other muscle groups, especially his chest. His chest looks really underdeveloped. Not like this titanium carbon fiber chest of an Adonis that I'm rocking. Watch these bad boys dance. Look at these milkers. Yeah, you see this? Fuck yeah. Oh yeah. Can't really see it through a baggy shirt, but just take my word for it. These bad boys are a-bouncing. But anyway, as you would expect, people eventually started to question why he kept doing videos that were this rapey. People kept saying, you know, rape's not really a joke. Why do you keep doing this? Please stop doing this shit. So in response to all the people making a hoopla about his rape videos on TikTok, he decided to do the rape videos, but with a little bit of a twist, a bit of a positive message. And just like that, bug workout ended rape. As you can see, a very positive message. If you're friends with a rapist, take your shirt off after they've tied up the woman, and then untie her and marry her, because she will be so grateful to you for not raping her. I mean, it's genius. Let's go ahead and let's take it. The rapist with an Expelliarmus there pushed him away with the force. It would have been better if it was the police doing. People in the background often in these videos is beyond shameless and disturbing. But let's go ahead and see another thing that he also likes to public as well. Taking pictures of women's panties. Oh, the upskirts. Pretty wild stuff. He has like 100 of these. There was just so many. I just decided to choose the most recent one. Also happens to be his newest TikTok that he uploaded today. So he's a big fan of this kind of shit. And I mean, just good content, I'd say. The reason why this account actually terrifies me is because there are people in the comments that aren't calling out how disgusting it is. There are people saying like, oh yeah, can't wait to try this, or damn, what a prank, or holy shit, this is so hot. And the fact that those little kids and the impressionable weirdos on there are taking this as like something to celebrate is terrifying.
Caption here, you need to pay attention to people before losing them. Oh, she didn't pay attention to him and he's surrounded by little girls? What?
This one comes from Leon Lush, who also made a video on him. This is just another example of something that makes me feel like he's a fucking creepy psychopath. I don't even understand the message here. His girlfriend wasn't paying attention to him, so then he went to a bunch of little children to give him love and affection. Like, it's so odd. This guy is just very fucking weird, and boys just love a good old gang bang, a big old gang rape there, and instantly producing a baby. Pretty fucking wild skit. Just boys being bugs, am I right? Just some bug boys being dude. It's not reducing women to sexual objects to be conquered on his TikTok. He still posts some absolutely fucking dumb shit. For instance, this one here. The only good part of this video is his friend getting in a free foot sniff. You can see him just taking a huge huff. He's going in on those feety fumes. And he actually kisses it on the way up. So, I mean, his friend really enjoyed this TikTok, if no one else. I also don't really know why he was missing a shoe. That was probably the only way to bribe his friend to even be in it. Like, hey, be in my TikTok. Nope, only if you take a shoe off so I can sniff your shit. He said, fuck it. It's wild stuff. I think this is the creepiest TikTok account I've seen so far. 8 million followers. Over 8 million followers for this shit. That's why it's so scary. 8.3 million people saw this channel, this fucking degenerate douchebag, and were like, yeah, this is okay and entertaining. Crazy. That's about it. See ya. Secondhand embarrassment is a very real phenomenon. It occurs when you witness something that is so grossly turbo cringe that your body has a fight or flight response and fills you with shame from just having watched it, even though you weren't directly involved in the situation. I think the #1 cause of secondhand embarrassment is bad stand-up comedy. So, you know, like, what's the deal with airline food? Salt shakers, you fill them up, and then where does it all go? Like, when a stand-up set bombs, I feel like most people get embarrassed for the person up there. But today, I got so much secondhand embarrassment, I feel like I got a year's worth of shame in one afternoon, thanks to the TikTok congressional hearing that happened. This was an absolute mockery of the entire country. It was absolutely foul. It was painful to watch. So I'd like to show you just a few of the clips. The whole thing was about 5.5 hours long, and I can't imagine anyone can make it to the end without puking. It's brutal. It has everything you're probably imagining, tech illiteracy and horrible questions out the wazoo, all wrapped up into one 5-hour endurance test of the human patience. In a nutshell, there's been a lot of controversy about TikTok and TikTok bans, like banning on government phones, which I do agree with. I don't think there's any argument to be made that a fucking government or someone in power person should have TikTok on their phone just because of potential security risks associated with it. And this has expanded into a lot of other big debates around it. I am not a personal fan of the platform in general. I don't really use it that often. Plus, I think it's been extremely detrimental to the actual mental health and attention span of human beings. Because now, I don't know if you go on TikTok often, If you go on TikTok and it's someone just talking about something or a clip of something, there is always Subway Surfers, Rocket League, or GTA playing underneath it in order to keep your attention, because people need such constant stimulation and jingling keys. If there's not like 3 separate videos of like bars of soap getting cut for satisfying videos, or Rocket League freestyling, while the core video itself is playing, they click off. That shit is just so pathetic. It's actual brain rot behavior. I am very curious to see in 10 years if that's going to be the commonplace for everything in the world. Like if movies now are going to be like playing a movie, but then also underneath it another separate movie, making sure that your attention is captured. Like, it's so baffling just how far the attention span of humans is degrading, where they can't watch a fucking 30-second video without 3 other videos also playing to keep their attention. But with all of that being said, I still don't want to see it nationally banned or any shit like that. And the reason's very simple. Because I like a world where people have the freedom to choose what they do with their whole life, pretty much. So if you want to download TikTok, you should. Even in spite of potential security risks to your privacy or whatever, that should entirely be on the individual's choice. Does the entertainment the platform offer outweigh the potential security risks to your data being sold or whatever? That's up to the person to decide. That's my ideal scenario where people have the freedom to make their own fucking choices there when it comes to some shit like this. I've made it clear I'm no fan of TikTok. I am also very confident that there is a huge level of like spyware with TikTok associated with it, more than the CEO lets on. But holy shit, this congressional hearing or whatever has done nothing but make the CEO of TikTok look like a patient saint. Like an actual Zen master to deal with the unhinged lunacy and out-of-touch questions those fucking fossils were throwing his way. It blew my mind. It blew my fucking mind. Her, oh my god, she's so dumb. She kept asking him questions, but instead of letting him answer, she'd just say, yes, yes, yes. And then she pulled up a random shitpost on TikTok like, you see this threat? Oh, fuck me. Yeah, so she pulled this up and she's like, look at this. Outrageous. It's not a viral post or anything, by the way.
That video was posted 41 days ago. As you can see, it is captioned me as F.
Dude who asked about TikTok using Wi-Fi? I don't remember, but I think they were trying to make a bigger point. And this is really giving a very charitable bone to the person who asked the question. I think what they were getting at with asking about Wi-Fi is he was trying to state that if one device is connected to a network, it can access everything on that network, which it can. But he couldn't ask the question because I don't think he really fully understood it. But again, I'm doing a very charitable service trying to even make some sense out of that awful question. This accomplished nothing except making their CEO look better. Full-heartedly believe there is a lot more fishy shit at play on the back end of TikTok, but they did not even get close to the bottom of it because they couldn't even wrap their head around what an app on your phone is. It's tragic.
Mr. Zhang Fuping is the editor-in-chief.
He's not.
My colleague, Representative
Just doesn't even let him say it or talk.
minutes ago exposed that TikTok and ByteDance share legal teams. You confirmed this, correct?
Our general counsel is an American lawyer, veteran of Microsoft.
Also, my colleague, Representative Latta, confirmed that your parent
Fucking
company,
worthless.
ByteDance, currently can access user data. Yes?
Let's, we have to be more
Yes.
specific.
Yes.
After
You
Project
say-
Texas, no.
I'm not asking after Project Texas, I'm asking now. Yes.
Some user data is public data, Congresswoman, which
So
means
you confirm
everybody
that.
can search
What's
for it on the
interesting to
internet.
me is that you have used the word transparency over a half a dozen times.
So, doesn't seem to understand that when you ask a question, you should wait for an answer instead of filling your own blanks here. So, her asking about the data that they're accessing, he talks about the public data, which is something every app in the world accesses, even that computer she's on right there. I bet she's logged in on Twitter. That uses all of your fucking data too. I bet she has a Facebook account. That not only accesses all of your data, it sells it too. All of these apps do that. What they needed to get to the bottom of is more in line with like what is TikTok specifically doing with that data and how it relates to like the CCP and shit like that. But instead they're so hung up on like public data. You're accessing public profiles. That's creepy. That's something one of the guys said. It's so fucking crazy. And for some reason they don't even let him answer, so they get no answers. They get nothing out of this. It is fucking worthless. It is a complete waste of time. They said they were watching children's public profiles, which was creepy. Everything's watching every public profile ever. That's the whole point of it being public. It gets scanned in these systems. That's not exclusive to TikTok. Twitter does it. Facebook does it. YouTube does it. Everything does it. Literally everything. We threw away our privacy long, long ago. TikTok is just a little more nefarious, potentially, with what it uses that data for, at least based on like reports from a year or two ago. Not meant to be informational or useful, it's meant to grandstand for campaigns. It's actually tame compared to everything else, and, well, I guess maybe. It's still so stupid, though, because this doesn't do anything to further anyone's agenda here. Everyone that asked him questions today looks like a bumbling fucking buffoon. A genuine moron. Like, I feel like all this does is shake people's confidence in their elected representatives here. They couldn't they couldn't ask a good question. Were they like this with Mark Zuckerberg? Yes! Yes, they were. It was just as bad with Mark Zuckerberg. Mark Zuckerberg sat in the same hot seat as this guy did, and he got bombarded with just as stupid questions. If I remember correctly, one of the Facebook questions was, do I need internet to connect to Facebook? Or something like that. We are not getting anything out of this garbage. What do you think their approach should be on this topic? Hand it off to people that understand it. Clearly, this woman doesn't know what the fuck she's talking about. At all. She has no clue what's going on right there. And she clearly doesn't even want to get answers because she's too busy answering herself. So get someone who gets it, have them ask the questions, and come up with the questions to begin with. Delegate. This is clearly not her strong suit. She's not even old! That you can't just keep using the excuse of they're all fucking geriatric. She is not old. She is willfully stupid. And still tries to act like an authority on the topic. She pulled up a fucking 400 view shitpost to try and use it as a point that completely fell flat. And then doesn't even let the guy answer her questions because she's too busy answering herself. Now, while she may have come to this hootenanny unprepared and made me ashamed to be a Floridian, she did mention something that I think is important to talk about briefly, which is Project Texas. Project Texas is something TikTok did to appease the US. In a quick nutshell, Project Texas is US user data being sent to Oracle, which is on American soil, as opposed to going anywhere else. So all of the US user data will now be on American soil, and Oracle kind of oversees the whole thing.
On a device in one pocket, but downloaded on your device in the other doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. I believe Congress and DoD should address the continued use of TikTok on military installations as well as any use that depicts U.S. military operations. Mr. Chu, does TikTok access the home Wi-Fi network?
Only if the user turns on the Wi-Fi. I'm sorry, I may not understand the...
So if I have a TikTok app...
Again, this is being very charitable. I think the point he was trying to make is... when it accesses the Wi-Fi, it has access to all of your devices that are within that network, which every device that accesses your Wi-Fi does. That is factual. That is true. Which is actually something that happened to Kaya. He downloaded a burglar broke in and downloaded a torrent, and it came with a virus, which infected multiple devices that were on his network. It is known that when you are on a Wi-Fi network, it connects to more than just the single thing that's connected to it. It's everything there. So I think his point was, can it access my other devices? Which is why he's talking about, like, downloading on a device next to me. Shit like that. But the way he asked that question is so bafflingly stupid that even the TikTok CEO is like, fucking obviously, it's gonna access your Wi-Fi if you turn it on. Right? Like, it's just craziness. So have someone who understands what the fuck they're talking about be the one to ask these questions. I think you gave him too much credit. He probably thinks Wi-Fi is a radio. Again, it's a very charitable interpretation of what I think he could have been trying to say. I could be way off and giving way too much credit there. I don't know. For the sake of clarity, I actually think that guy's follow-up question kind of hints more at what I was saying. Even though it's still poorly asked and his follow-up question is still poorly phrased, I do think with a high level of confidence the thing he was trying to get at is TikTok going to be accessing all kinds of things on my network outside of just the one device that I'm using right now to connect to it? I think is what he really wanted to get at, but he didn't know how to get to that topic effectively. So he ended up making a very silly question out of the whole thing, which really sums up the entire hearing. Just silly questions that didn't do anything at all. They didn't get any answers. They didn't get to the bottom of any real questions people have. It was just a genuine fucking circus. Just an absolute clown show. That's really about it. See ya.